Hello and welcome to the live watch-along, right, not live coverage, of Arsenal versus Burnley. I'm Gav Matt, that's Ed Hall.
Hello.
Stephen Cotton's going to be joining us very, very shortly. Massive 6-pointer this one, isn't it?
I was just about to say that. Is this a 6-point relegation tie?
Yes, it simply is. Look, we've got this game on now. We're going to be keeping an eye on the Leicester-Brighton game. But if Brighton get a victory and Arsenal don't, Brighton go ahead of Arsenal. And with Fulham getting a point, it sounds really silly, but you know, it's very dodgy territory for Arsenal at the moment.
I don't agree with some call-ins for Arteta's job.
I do.
I know you do, but you know, I very much believe in projects, and I don't quite know if the Arsenal fan base is the right type of fan base for projects, because I say the Arsenal fan base, you know what I'm talking about.
The AFTV boys and stuff.
AFTV, they're so melodramatic, aren't they? Like, I don't think they can trust in a process because they just go from a week to week basis. Bless them. But do you have the type of owners who even care enough to make a decision to sack him? Like,
decision to sack him? No. They don't really care as long as there's money coming in, but exactly. There's not a great deal of money coming in because we haven't played Champions League football for the last 3-4 seasons now. So that guaranteed wedge is gone. They're spending money, the owners. How many years have Arsenal fans turned around and said, they're not spending any money. We need to spend money. We need to buy this player. We need to buy that player. We've got the second highest net spend in the Premier League.
Yeah.
So we're spending money. We're just not spending it in the right areas. You know, we need someone who's creative, who plays in the middle of the park, and not necessarily a number 10, if you want to call it that, because we've got that in Özil. Özil's not fancied for whatever reason. I don't really fancy him much anymore either. That's a different story for a different. Well, I say a different story for a different time. It's the review show, innit? So we're going to do that later on in this and in there as well. But I just think that. I think there needs to be some wholesale change at Arsenal. There's a lot of dead wood knocking around at the club, but it needs a strong manager in place. And I just feel that Arteta at the moment is maybe just a little bit too out of his depth. Great coach. Is he a good gaffer? I don't know. I don't think he is yet.
Where did this all generate from? Because most managers in somewhat of a similar position have gone through a X process. Frank Lampard, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Steven Gerrard. I mean, I give Ole Gunnar Solskjaer some stick, but he has managed at Cardiff. He had Premier League experience somewhat.
Won titles elsewhere. I know it's only Norway, if you want to call it that, but he's still got that winning mentality.
Yeah, but you also go and do the job day in, day out, being the boss. You know, there's that process you have to go through. Whereas he just went from assistant manager. And I know people like to joke setting out the cones for Pep, but I'm sure he was a valuable member of the team. But to go from that to the third most successful club in England, explain that to me. That's why I thought he maybe jumped the gun, because I don't think Liverpool would give the job to Steven Gerrard unless we feel he absolutely deserved the job. We wouldn't just give it to him because he was an ex-player who could steady the ship.
I think there was some form of sentimental value involved in Arteta getting the job. But it's not like a club legend. I don't care what Arsenal fans are going to try and say and what they're going to try and do. I mean, I don't know if any gooners are watching with us and they can have their opinion on it, but I don't think he is. I don't think he's a club legend. He's won the FA Cup. He's won a couple with him. He's a club captain for a short amount of time. But it wasn't exactly a successful period for Arsenal, was it? So I don't think his
the narrative made sense, didn't it? You know, it was like you could have got a budget Pep Guardiola from under everyone's noses. I think that's what the media was trying to portray anyway.
Yeah, I think that was the idea that they were trying to go with. But let's have a look at some team lineups. Let's have a look at that because we've got them both here. Obviously, they come out well in advance, but we've got them here anyway. So, Arsenal they're going with a 4-2-3-1. They're at home. They've gone with Bernd Leno between the sticks. They've gone with the back four of Kieran Tierney, Gabriel, Holding, and Bellerin, the foul throw guru. And the two defensive midfielders of Xhaka and El Neni, who El Neni has really impressed at Arsenal this season so far. An attacking midfielder of classic number 10 position, if you want to call it that, for Arsenal's number 9. And that is Alex Lacazette. Wingers of Saka and Willian, and then Aubameyang up front. And then we'll have a look at the Burnley one before we discuss both of them in a little bit more depth. Thanks for that. I'm trying to read the team lineup there, Ed. Pope in goal.
You don't know the lineup?
No, I don't really pay that much attention to Burnley, but I probably should because they're probably going to beat us today. They've gone with a 4-4-2, standard 4-4-2, big man, little man, two up top, Bosch. They've gone with Charlie Taylor, left back, Ben Mee, Tarkowski, and Matt Lowton, right back. Midfield four of McNeil, Westwood, Brownhill, and Robbie Brady, who scored last week. And then up top, you've got the big, solid man in Chris Wood, the Kiwi legend, and Jay Rodriguez. Oh, I don't know what to think of it. I really don't know what to think of it. Early doors question there. Gav, what do you think about Aubameyang being so poor this season? Well, it's a regular conversation that me and my missus have in this house. We think that there's a little bit more to it. My missus follows a lot of the Arsenal players on social media, in particular Aubameyang, and all throughout the summer, he was very active on social media, doing whatever. And since his downturn in form, / when he signed his contract, he has gone missing. Not just on the pitch, off it as well. So, I don't know. But my good pal Robbie, who lives in Burnley, literally around the corner from the ground, he's panicking about this game. He thinks this is the day that Arsenal click. I can't see it. I genuinely can't see it.
But I mean, if you want to find your mojo again, you want it to be at home to a club in the bottom half of the table. So I think that's why the neutrals are suggesting that Arsenal are probably going to come back today. I can see why you won't feel confident based on what you've been watching week in, week out. Perhaps you've probably got the more realistic take on this. But on paper, and based on where you are, well, I say that you're 15th.
15th in the league.
That. Yeah, you're 15th.
Arsenal 15th in the league, and we've played more than a quarter of the season. So it's not good. It's not good at Arsenal. And it's mad because I feel that Arsenal are getting away with it in the media a little bit. You know, Man United have a bad result and it's like, hold on a minute, they're third, fourth in the table. They're all right, you know. Yes, they got knocked out of Europe, out of the Champions League, but they're still in the European competition. They're fine. You know, if you think about it, on the grand scheme of things, they drew 0-0 with Man City, who are, you know, favourite / second favourites of winning the Premier League. So I don't know. I don't understand where all the drama's hanging around. But Man United seem to always be on the brunt end of media backlash, and then Arsenal sort of get away with it a little bit, and they are at the moment. Despite looking what Spurs are doing, look, Spurs top of the league after 12 games, 25 points. Joint with Liverpool, 25 points. Arsenal languishing, 13 points, 4 wins and a draw. It's not good.
The problem is when you look to Arteta, he doesn't look like he's fought past this. He looks like he's come in with this idea, he's implemented it. He might not have the players to do it, but where does that leave you then? So you don't have the players to do this, to use this formation right now, to use this style of play. So where's the plan B?
I think he's trying to rest on his laurels a little bit. Won a trophy and a half. I won't call it 2 trophies because Charity Shield means nothing as far as I'm concerned. But he's won the FA Cup, and people say he was quite impressive the way that he beat Chelsea and the way that he beat Man City. He was uber defensive. He sat there absorbing pressure. That's not impressive in any way, shape, or form. Arsenal only really looked good against Chelsea in the FA Cup final once Chelsea went down to 10 men. Personal opinion. You know, other Arsenal fans might have a different conversation. Come on, Gab, let's do it. Arteta magic tonight. That's my pal Chris Wallace. I know him from the Arrows. He is he is desperate for an Arsenal victory today because he's got Arsenal in last man standing, and that is important. So, do you know what, Chris? I want an Arsenal win for you more than anything else. Atletico Madrid, top of the league, round of 16 in Champions League. What's Partey thinking choosing Arsenal? I think Partey read into the plan. There's always going to be a plan. You don't just turn up at Arsenal and then you think that everything's just going to be all right and just crack on. I honestly think that there is a plan in place. Now, how long will the Arsenal board be prepared to allow this transition to go on for? I don't know how long he's going to do that for. I really don't. And I am concerned about it because me personally, I didn't want Arteta in the job anyway. And I'm having Arsenal fans tell me, no, he's great, he's going to be this, he's going to be that. I haven't seen it. I genuinely haven't seen it. I'm seeing Arsenal lose and draw and lose games from winning positions. I'm seeing Arsenal go behind and not knowing how to move forwards. I'm seeing Arsenal have no desire. It's like they don't want to play for him. It's like there's hidden agenda going on behind the scenes. It's a worrying time for Arsenal, and not just Arsenal fans. It's a very precarious time. If Arsenal, if things go horribly wrong, there's a chance that they could go down. It sounds silly, but you know, no team is too big to go down. Look at Forest. They've won league titles. They won two European Cups, and then 10 years down the line, 10, 15 years down the line, they're playing in the second tier, and then they go down again. It can happen. You know, we're from Northampton. We've watched Northampton Saints win European trophy, and then be knocking around in the second tier. You know, it could
be looking at the second tier this year on the side note.
And if you play Championship Manager 3, Championship Manager 0102, as soon as Fergie,
there's going to be a dire fan base right now. Yeah.
As soon as Fergie retires, Man United, they go on the spiral. They're heading down in the leagues and stuff as well. So, look, I'm scared. Put it that way. I'm scared. Now, when you're watching this on Now TV, right?
I'm watching this on Now TV. Yes. Are you looking for a bit of a sync up?
Yes, I am. Yes, because I've got it live on the old Sky backs. So,
well, you're going to be
10, 15 years down the line.
10, 15 years ahead of me.
10, 15 years down ahead.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm behind you, that's absolutely fine. It'll probably be about 30 seconds. But, I mean, you're the Arsenal fan, so it'll be your...
Well, I'll tell you what...
30 seconds, that's a bit long.
When I get onto a minute...
You'll pause it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a legend.
And nice. And nice. And if everyone else wants to do that at home, you're more than welcome to do that as well.
Or send me a skybox, anyone. That'd be a much more appreciated.
That would be so much better. That'd be so much better.
Matter. You can buy skyboxes. It's at the end of the day, it's nothing unless you got the...
Yeah, you need a viewing card, don't you?
Did you already put this comment up, or am I absolutely...
No, you could do that. Proud of you.
Hello, boys. We're back. See, I'm the technical man today. Welcome to the Ed Show.
Ed Hall, technical director.
Oh, is that my job title at 2 up top?
That is, yeah.
Have we got the Arsenal? Can we do the Arsenal? I mean, you can tell I'm not the StreamYard hero. Can we do the Arsenal versus Burnley title or the 0-0?
Yes, I could do that. I can make that happen.
Yeah.
Well, we've kicked off my end, but we're not going to get excited until a minute in. That's what we're going to do. Because I think that's fair for everybody.
Yeah, because they're still waiting on my end. It's Burnley taking the kickoff, but
we'll stick that there.
I think if you lose this, Arteta will get the sack already.
No, well, it's mad because we've got Everton and Chelsea
Everton
next, and Southampton.
So surprised that Everton beat Chelsea.
I'm surprised.
Yeah,
They also mugged me over for about 600 quid as well.
600 quid.
Yeah.
Calling it now 1-1. We're getting. I think it's going to be 2-1 Arsenal. I do. I think it's going to be similar to that West Ham game we watched earlier on.
Oh, what, that Dross one as well. Bloody hell. Every time Arsenal and England were involved, it's so Dross. Right, I've paused it on a minute. I'm waiting for you, Ed.
All right, so I've just hit the 30-second mark, so I'll tell you when to press play. Top lad. Burnley 3, Arsenal 1.
Wow, Nick, that's savage, isn't it? Oh.
Yeah, I mean, he was being polite. He was thinking more forward.
Yeah, he probably was, yeah. Ain't you nice?
Okay. He would get sacked if he lost 3-1 at home.
Got to.
Okay, I've got 10 seconds.
It's a 10-second countdown.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And it's a throw into Arsenal. There we go. And it's live. Minus a minute. What do you think of the social distancing at football grounds at the moment? Because it seems to take the mick a little bit, doesn't it? It's almost like 2 meters only goes sideways.
What? Oh, are you on about the 2 rows behind him? Yeah. I mean,
doesn't make any sense.
You'd be surprised. I bet you that's just about 2 meters.
Stretch your arms out and stuff, you know, do a little spin. I don't think
we've got to crack out the old gradient. Let's get the gradient involved. Can we talk about Hector Bellerin, please? Tell me what you think of Hector Bellerin. Hector Bellerin is in my 11 of players I think have for years been severely overrated. Paul Pogba's in there, and Hector Bellerin's playing right back in that start 11 for me.
We should do an overrated 11 on Thursday. That's what we should do. But no, Hector Bellerin, it took a while for him to get in, and when he did, he was brilliant, absolutely quality, and rapid as hell.
Under Wenger?
He started under Wenger, yeah. So we're talking like 15-16 season in particular. I thought he was world class, and that is not even a joke. He was brilliant. There's one game in particular which I remember. It was against Bayern Munich as well. We beat them 2-1, and they were on the break. Bayern were, and it was obvious they were going to score. And Bellerin literally just put on the burners, and I would have fancied him against Usain Bolt that day. He was that quick. In the 90th minute as well, here comes Bellerin with the cross, and it's deflected. It's going nowhere.
That wasn't a cross.
I don't know what it is. So he was brilliant. Honestly, he was fantastic. And then his injuries has hurt him. It's harmed him quite a bit, and it's a shame because he's not been the same player since. He just looks like he cares more about his appearance than he cares about his footballing ability. He doesn't deserve to be anywhere near the Spain squad. He doesn't even deserve to be starting for Arsenal right now. I'll be starting Maitland-Niles, or I'll be starting Cedric Suarez personally. But once again, it's a little bit like the Willian situation. Willian is, I don't understand. He's got something on. He's got something on Arteta. He really has.
Yeah, I was on about right now. But that's the thing I have with Bellerin, because I went back for a bit of a laugh and listened to us talking about Bellerin during the West Ham game.
Here we go.
I was absolutely gobsmacked that Barcelona were interested in him. I was like, "You're
in Bellerin."
Yeah,
at the time.
At the time, no. Okay, under Wenger, under that first season, I understood it, because this is what I used to think about Pogba, and this is what I used to think about Bellerin. They're luxury players who would excel in teams where they don't have to do much pressing, a lot of the hard work. If they were playing for a Barcelona of prime where they just dominate the ball, yeah, it'd probably be great. But
if you're up against it, back against the wall, he is not one player that you really want there. But then no Arsenal player over the last few years, if Arsenal were losing, you could look at any other of the 19 teams in the Premier League, and if they haven't got the ball, they will do something to try and press. I watched Arsenal last week against Spurs, right? And there was an opportunity where the ball broke over and the Spurs man was heading there. But if Arsenal, I think it was Holding, if he just jogged, even if he was jogging, he would have got there first. But no, it was almost like, right, don't worry about the ball, just get into position first and jockey. What is that about? Put your body on the line and go for it. I watched Palermo. We're playing frigging Serie C football at the moment, and I'm watching more desire and more passion from Palermo in the third tier of Italian football than watching a club who are meant to be regarded as an elite club, passing sideways and backwards. No desire, no passion. But I don't know where that comes from, because that was happening under Wenger. It happened under even Ljungberg. It was happening under him. It was happening under Emery, and it's happening now. So I want to know, who of the backroom staff is still currently at Arsenal that was there under Wenger, because it's something that's installed from years gone by.
It's like you've lost your drive. It's like the players have lost their drive. I mean, I think they're quick for their heads to drop.
Right, I've got beef with this comment. So what you're saying, and then I've got beef with this comment.
Go on, take on the comments straight away. Go.
Right. So we're talking about overrated players.
Okay.
Here comes Arsenal. Poor cross from Tierney. It's going for a throw in.
Do you not rate Kai Havertz as a player?
Kai Havertz. I'm sorry. Oh, fantastic. Kai Havertz is absolute baller. He's taken a bit of time to settle into England and into the system that they're trying to play at Chelsea. They're playing a completely different system to what Leverkusen were playing. Completely different system. So, and he's also not got his mates around him that were knocking it about with him as well. So that will take time. Kai Havertz, for me personally, is a future Ballon d'Or winner, or if not, is going to be a top 3 Ballon d'Or player. He's absolutely incredible. Really, really is. Fred has improved. He was decent at Shakhtar. He had a terrible first season, and his second season has been way, way better. And Eric Dyer, he's found his home at centre half, man. He's found his home.
He scored a brilliant free kick today.
Oh my God! I thought it was in.
I thought that was more.
Fantastic. I thought that was more in than Sterling in World Cup 2014. That goal that we still think is a goal. That it never was a goal.
Havertz is, if his career goes the way I think it will, I think he'll be the kind of next, because I think people forget how big of a player Mesut Ozil was for Germany. Yeah. And how clinical of a player he was at Real Madrid. I can see a similar thing with Kai Havertz. Chelsea didn't need Kai Havertz. And he doesn't suit that system at all. Like, the fact is there baffles me. I only think he'll play so well at that Chelsea team, to be fair.
Kai Havertz plays best in a number 10 position with 2 rapid wingers. If you play him any deeper than that, he looks lost. A little bit like Julian Brandt at the moment. That's exactly what's happening to him. Julian Brandt looks so lost at Dortmund. And talk about funniest thing in the world, which Shishunja podcast is trying to say, that if Arsenal lose today against Burnley, it'd be the funniest thing in the world. No, the funniest thing in the world, is particularly this weekend, is Dortmund 1, Stuttgart 5. That's funny, and that's cost Favre his job. We'll be talking about that more. Yeah, we'll be talking about that more on Wednesday in the Bundesliga show. But yeah, Dortmund are embarrassing. They are done. Arsenal a corner right now. If you look at the Arsenal starting 11, you ask yourself how many of these would get into any top 6 or top 8 in the Premier League. I think man for man, Arsenal are fine. I think they've got a lot of decent players. They just don't know what they're doing together at the moment. And the only person I could blame is the manager. It's the manager who puts the team out. It's the manager who's got to get them playing. He's asking them to do certain things. They're not doing it. It's not working.
You're asking someone to build a team from the ground up, effectively, make this new tier Arsenal, but this guy has got no experience to call back on himself. If he doesn't know how to tackle something or something's not going well, what does he call on? That time Pep did something.
Yeah, exactly. There's what's that? Oh, sorry. I've a door in the room as well, so mini distraction. But I just think I just think he's out of his depth. He's not ready for a job like this. And put it this way, let's say Arteta gets sacked, right? What job does he get next?
What job does he deserve?
My missus said Dortmund. Do you know what? Why not? Go fill your boots over at Dortmund. But no, where could he go?
Something I don't. But if I was, running a football club and we were making decisions on who we'd want to contact for the next manager, why would you go for Arteta? And I mean, realistically, you got to first see what's your expectation. You certainly ain't going to get it in.
Saka's fan of Aubameyang. Good cross. Header. Oh, Lacazette. Go on. Finish it now. Oh, what's he given? Corner. Bit of a goal line scramble there. It's annoying because I say this to my missus every single week. After about 10 minutes, I'm like, Arsenal started all right here. We're a really good first 10-minute team. Really good first 10-minute team. But after that, they just look lost and they don't know what to do. I think the only worst 10 minutes, the only time I've had a bad 10 minutes this season is against Villa, where we should have been 1-0 down in the first 30 seconds, but we weren't. Talk about embarrassing things to happen this season. Shahid, who's watching the show, says, Villa beating Liverpool is funny. It was. It was very funny. Gary's watching. Yes, Gary. We need to get some darts on very soon, Gary. Yes, we do. Arsenal been the same for years, doing things on the cheap. They bought Özil and Aubameyang way too late. Oh my God, yes. Oh my God, yes. That is classic Arsenal. Buying players past their prime. And
I don't think Aubameyang or Özil was past their prime. Özil was really good for the first few years under Wenger.
See,
realised what he was lacking.
I was so gassed with the Özil signing. I really thought that we were going places with that, and I just didn't see it. And I'll tell you what, the only time when I saw Özil doing major bits is when Theo Walcott was on the pitch as well. It's mad, isn't it? But like their goal record, there we go. Oh my God!
Oh, that should have been
1-0. Chris Wood, free header. It should be 1-0 to Burnley.
Though we knew exactly where that ball was going about 10 seconds before he pulled off that ball.
But do you see what I mean about the?
Surely they know where that ball's going.
You see what I mean about the movement and it's just so lackadaisical. There's no urgency. There's no communication. You can blame the players to a degree, but it's the manager who's asking the team to set out in a particular way. And Arsenal set out in a way that is allowing opposition to do that. Can you imagine if that was a world-class striker? It's a great header. It's free in the box. It's come off his shoulder by the looks of it. If that's a clean header, that's going in the back of the net. Leno has no chance whatsoever.
Opinions on Leno, because Martinez looked great against Wolves.
Well, it's a weird one because, Martinez, if he was any good before, he would have got game time. He's been third choice goalkeeper at Arsenal for a number of years. But for what he did at the end of last season, that's a lovely touch from Aubameyang. And here come Arsenal now. That's good recovery there from Brownhill. The thing with Martinez, he proved himself worthy to be a part of this team going forwards right now. I felt Arsenal looked stronger. They looked more comfortable at the back. They were confident at the back. He will come out and be like, right, I'm having that. picking it out of the air. And it doesn't happen under Leno. Leno panics me. He's a good goalkeeper, but he's not a great goalkeeper. I think that's what the issue is. Cheap manager when Ancelotti was available, but he went to Everton. You know, that's something easily that could have happened at Arsenal. Ancelotti, I asked for Ancelotti, you know, from when we were doing the shows and stuff before. Said it loads of times. We should have got Özil after Modric went to Real Madrid in his prime and was surplus then. It's not a bad shout, to be honest. Not a bad shout.
Let's not forget, Ronaldo didn't even want rid of Ozil. He was gutted that Ozil left.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so but then you know he still had pace. Do you know what I mean? Özil thrives off playing in the hole with players around him with pace. This sideways stuff from Arsenal doesn't work. That's why he loved playing with Theo Walcott. It sounds really silly, but the goal and assist ratio when those two were playing was a goal or assist every 60 minutes. That is impressive, regardless of whether you like Theo Walcott or not, and regardless of whether you like Özil or not. That is an impressive stat. Havertz is a great player, don't get me wrong, but he's just not fitting into that team. Fred, to a big team, to have good days and bad days like he does. Dyer, to playing at centre-back is okay, but not his position. I can't see Dyer going back into a midfield position. I think that's his home now. He's going to have to do it, whether he likes playing there or not. That is exactly where he's at for me. He looks like a brand new signing, does Eric Dyer?
I think he's a car crash. Honestly, I think he's found some composure under Jose Mourinho because the whole system is built around defending. But I think if you leave him in a side which leaves plenty of space at the back by opening it up, he would get buried alive. Because it's such a defensive unit at Tottenham, he's covered. There is no way you can tell me he's a good centre-back, though. Won't have it. He's not bad, but he ain't title-winning centre-back.
Man, we've had worse title-winning centre-halves.
Oh, no, without a doubt.
Well, Pascal Segon is an invincible. Here's a chance for a cross. Great delivery. Is that handball? No, I don't think so. No.
Well, if it was, it'll be
Burnley. Yeah, Burnley clear their lines. And now it's back with Burnt Leno.
Well, 17 minutes into the half.
Yeah, I know, but this is still Arsenal. It's still 0-0 between Leicester and Brighton. Got that on the old Amazon Prime to me left. Got a nice little setup going on here. Yes, I hope the away team win. Now, I'm a weird one because if the away team win, it could signal a closer exit for Arteta, who I feel is not the right man for the job. But I don't want my team to lose. Now, my concern, and it happened this time last season as well, when Kovac lost his job at Bayern. We were linked with Bayern, but we were linked with Kovac. Now, I don't want. We're linked with Bayern. Yeah, I was linked with Bayern. Yeah. Now, I don't want to see Arsenal getting linked with Lucien Favre. That's what I'm worried about. It's like, well, we get rid of Arteta. Who's the manager who's available, who would be available to come to Arsenal and be relatively cost effective? Lucien Favre. No, don't want to see it happen. So things need to change around. We need to crack on. That's my pal Lisa. How are you, love? I still have nightmares over Seagon. Don't mention his name again. I'll try not to. We've had worse. Stepanov's maybe being one of the worst centre halves. He's got a Premier League winning title, winning medal. So
Nick Pope. I mean, if you want to effectively break, I'm not on about Arsenal breaking to the top six, but I mean, if you look at the top six sides, or the top, was it the big seven? You'd probably call them now with Leicester. Would you consider Leicester part of that now? I do. Surely one of them needs to perhaps look at Nick Pope.
Well, I thought he was going to go to Chelsea in the summer window. That's what I
that
thought.
certainly won't happen now. So that leaves
No. They
Arsenal.
got Mendy now, won't they?
That leaves
I
Arsenal.
love Nick Pope.
Tottenham have Lloris.
He should go to Spurs. I don't rate Lloris. Honestly, I don't think he's all that. I really don't.
Agree.
I think he's a great leader, but I don't think he's a great captain. A great goalkeeper. I think he's a great captain. That's a great ball. Oh, good header. Rob Holding. Whew. Not shab at all, that. Not shab at all.
You're not very aggressive. Everything's always trying to be done so pretty.
Yes, exactly. We need a bit of grit, and that's what I was really hoping with Partey. But we're gonna have to wait until he comes back from his injury and see what happens after that. Probably under Wenger, he was very lucky with players that bought on cheap but developed and became world class. Henry, for argument's sake, I think he was on the world class scale already. But yes, I know exactly what you mean. But don't think that's the case this time, and it's not. Oh, it's a great tackle. That's a lovely tackle, and he's won a throw in as well from James Tarkowski. Now he is a player. He is a quality centre half. Really is. I thought he was going to make a big move.
Well, I don't know if it's a big move, but West Ham were trying to get Tarkowski for a long time.
Yeah, he would never have gone West Ham. Never would have gone West Ham.
I know it's considered like a sideways steps, but if you look at, I'm a massive fan of Cresswell at West Ham.
Are you?
No, I am. I think he's a heavily underrated player. And
is it because he's from Merseyside?
No,
oh, okay.
Am I from Merseyside?
No, you're a Liverpool fan, isn't it? You know what I mean?
So obviously not then. But Cresswell is very much. He's also a modern fullback. Like some of his ball delivery is perfect. Honest to God, you'd be surprised. I think West Ham are a team on the up, and considering I had them tipped for relegation, that really hurts to say. Teams like West Ham and Southampton have a good backbone of players.
No, I thought Southampton were going to do well this season. I really did. I really like Hasenhüttl. I like the football that he plays, and I think personnel-wise, they've got a decent squad, man. They've got a decent side. I think they get slept on quite a lot. I'm not shocked by their start of the season in any way. Really, I'm not. And if you've got to look at it at the end of last season as well. Look, after Leicester absolutely tonked them last season, Southampton won more points than Leicester did. That's mad.
Che Adams, he performs much better when he's in a team with Danny Ings. It's because when Che Adams is the sole striker at Southampton, he just gets man-marked. But when Danny Ings,
he looks out of his depth, doesn't he? I like Che Adams. Che Adams offers a lot of energy, and he's got a great touch. He's got good vision. I think without Danny Ings, he does look quite championship in terms of his finishing. Maybe he shouldn't class himself as a striker. Maybe he should class himself as like a support striker. Not saying a number 10 as such, but is a guy who's able to help out, show a little bit of physical prowess in and around it all. There's a lackluster version of Willian trying to close the keeper down. Pathetic. Arsenal was something else. Always seemed on the attack against Spurs. Just couldn't finish. I thought Arsenal looked all right against Spurs. But yeah, you're right. No end product. And there was just times where I could just see the confidence just being shot away. I mean, there's one in particular opportunity for Aubameyang where he's running pretty much one-on-one with the keeper, one-on-one. He's got a defender in front of him. What he should do, what he would normally do, especially when he's on his goal-scoring runs, he will cut inside and then have a dig on his right foot. And he just ran into trouble, turned around, tried to find a pass, and next thing you know, the ball's back with Leno. It's just not good enough. Here's a free kick from deep. Yeah, so Willian and Saka are standing over it.
Are we still 0-0 in the Brighton game?
Yeah, still 0-0. It's all Leicester. It is all Leicester. I'm loving Fofana, by the way. He won't be at Leicester in 2 years' time. He'll be at Real Madrid. I think he's that good. I would say Bayern, but if he was going to go to Bayern, it would mean that Bayern would have to spend money. And we all know that Bayern don't spend money. I can't believe Christian Fuchs is still knocking about. I would have thought after he won the title, like, I'm packing my bags now, done my bit, catch you later. Why? Right, like when we talk about decent young right backs, it's always between 3, isn't it? Well, is it 3, 4? They will always say Trent, which is fair enough. We'll always say Reece James. We'll always say Wan-Bissaka. We talk about Lamperty. Oh, it's 1-0. It's 1-0. It's 1-0. But why don't we talk about James Justin at Leicester? Because he's brilliant. And he's involved in this as well. Nah, he's just involved in this. Literally, he just crossed it in. The ball got cleared away. And then James Maddison's on the edge of the box and just slots it home. Now, because the thing is, I was keeping an eye on that. And James Justin put a lovely ball into the box. And I saw it get cleared away, so then I just turn around to you. And then I'm looking back and I'm seeing Maddison wheeling off. Thinking, what the hell's going on? What the hell's going on?
That's good for you. You need, if you don't get points here, you need Brighton to drop points.
How bad is that? How sad is that? The thought of that alone, that Arsenal are happy at the fact that Leicester are beating Brighton because we are competing with them at the same position in the league. Adam Church watching the show. Thanks very much for watching along with us. As an Arsenal fan, I don't like to be negative on our players, but how does Hector Bellerin start all these games? We've had a bit of Hector Bellerin bashing already, but I want to do some more because he's let me down. He's let me down. As I said before, it's all about his appearance. He cares more about that than anything else. Here comes Lacazette. He's got many either side. He's found Saka. Bad touch. Lacazette. Oh!
Wow, that should have been.
No! It's got to be 1-0 there. It's got to be 1-0. Oh, no. Arsenal back on the ball again. Willian wide right. Lots of standing around in red shirts. It's easy to mark Arsenal. So easy. There's a little bit more movement. Tierney, wide left, just on the corner of the box. Cuts inside, goes back on his left foot, tries to cross it. Looks like a corner. It's come off. Yeah, it's come off Robbie Brady. Even if it has touched his hand, you can't give a penalty for that. No way. And it's going to be a corner. I think Robbie Brady knows it hit his hand as well because he looks a bit sheepish. No. It's hit the top. It's hit the top of his he's turned his back and it's hit the top of his sleeve. And we know that's not handball now. Or ask Mike Dean. He might say something different. Willian with the corner. I think it's the most movement I've seen from Arsenal in the box here. Headed away by Lowton. Tierney having a little look around. There's no one there. It's just more sideways action from Arsenal. That's a great knock, though, into the box, and it's headed out of play for another corner.
The longer you go without getting such results, I don't necessarily think you've been that poor starting this game, but the longer you don't get results, the smaller your patience is going to be.
I don't think the Arsenal fans are going to get on their back either, because I think there's just such a depth of Arsenal fans that are so Arteta driven. I don't think that's a bad effort from Lacazette. I really don't. I thought it was a lot worse than that. Got to be a decent whip. Oh God, who's that on the that Gabriel? Gabriel. Yeah. As I had a clean connection. Now, Adam, if you're still watching with us, Adam, you're an Arsenal fan, and all Arsenal fans that are watching the show with us at the moment, including you, Gary, I know you're a gooner as well. All Arsenal fans that are watching the show, are you Arteta in or Arteta out? And if you are out, I would like to know your reasons behind it. Because I know the reasons why it's in.
Was you Arteta in when you were looking for a manager? That's the question.
No. Me?
You, Gav. I know you wasn't.
Oh no, yeah, I didn't want him in the first place, and that's not. That makes me sound like really elitist almost, but I'm not being funny. It's Arsenal Football Club, man. I think I've got every right to be elitist. We won 13 top flight titles, only third behind Liverpool or Man United. Arsenal haven't won a title for 16 years. They've won trophies in the meantime, fair enough. We failed a lot in finals over the last 20 years. You know, one FA Cup, a Champions League, 2 Europa/UEFA Cups, a league, 2 League Cups. You know, so we've knocked around where we need to be knocking around. But you know, there's been second place finishes, third place finishes, a number of fourth place finishes. Arsenal haven't been that far behind title winners when we haven't gone on to win it. So it's just needed someone or something to try and help us get over the edge. You know, if we had a half-decent striker in 15-16, we wouldn't be talking about all these issues and what's going on, because Arsenal were clear favourites of doing that and cracking on. Lisa's saying Arteta in. As I said, I think your reasons will be because he deserves time. That's the only. I think that's the only thing that is telling me that Arteta should be staying in this job, is because he deserves time. I don't think there's anything else in it. Honestly, I can't. Arsenal's style of play is no good, and people go, "Oh yeah, but it's the players." I call bullshit on it. Arsenal have got decent players. They're not doing what they should be doing.
He had a lot of things going his way for him. Is that he did similar to Solskjaer, where he started well when he came in. And
did he start well?
Okay, that's what I was about to say to you, because you have a look at the results, and then you have a look at the teams you were beating, teams you had stopped beating for a couple of years. But like when you look at them performances during them games, when you actually dissect it, like would you have beat them on any other day?
Yeah.
That's the thing. And will you be that lucky or that fortunate again in the next campaign and the next campaign? Is this because it was good for that 1 year, but if that's your philosophy of football, I don't know.
I just look back to this time last year. Well, it was actually New Year's Day. Arsenal always a bit of fisticuffs here. Not allowed to call it an accessory that women, predominantly women, use because you get sacked by the BBC for that. Did you hear about that?
So stupid.
Your man got sacked for saying calling it handbags. It was handbags as well.
Sack me all you want, then that's absolutely fine.
Robbie Brady is in trouble. Is he in trouble? Happened? Let's have a look again. All right, Tarkovsky's caught Tierney.
Oh, he's not.
And there was offside. There was offside for that. And then Robbie Brady is. Robbie Brady won't give the ball to Saka. Saka's pulled him off. Woo! There's nothing to it. And then here comes Aubameyang and here comes Gabriel to have a word. He's got a yellow card, rightfully. But there's nothing in that whatsoever.
I think a yellow card there is even unnecessary.
Yeah, unnecessary.
That was. Are you on about for the holding onto the ball, or are you on for the arm?
Oh no, for holding on to the ball, because like him and Saka have had their thing. It's done now. What is Aubameyang coming in steaming in for, and what is Gabriel steaming in for? Doesn't need to be done. Lino's there, ref is there. We'll be dealt with. No cards. Let's crack on with the rest of the game. Don't need it. It was pathetic, silly stuff. Well, this is a big old comment. But he's going in. I was shocked when I saw that he got that he was brought in as a cheap Pep. Personally, I think Wenger should have gone upstairs when Klopp was available before the Liverpool job thing. And where Arsenal now, that's where Arsenal are now. It's within his budget. We pay one of the highest ticket prices in the Premier League, and we still can't get players on the cheap. Still try and get players on the cheap. Sorry. Klopp was interested in going to Arsenal. For years, Arsenal fans have said this about Wenger as well. I wanted Wenger out straight up from 2008. Well documented by me all over socials and across my
you can
whole
find it
peer
on
group as well. Find it. Yeah, at top football. Put it into Google. On that comes up first. Nah, joking. No, I'm not joking. It does actually come up first when you put it top of Google. So but then when Arsenal finally picked up an FA Cup, he should have stepped aside. 2014 season, should have stepped aside at that point. And it's just.
There are a few people. There's a lot of clubs who have said that comment though. Oh, we should have gone for Klopp after getting it.
Yeah. Well, there was interest from Klopp. That's the thing. Here come Arsenal now. Cut inside. Here we go. Bellerin. Willian. Trying to find his toes. Poor form. Cleared away there. Oh, Arsenal won it back.
Somehow. It reminds me of it's like when you potentially could have tempted Suarez away from Liverpool and you put that.
And then pissing around with a pound. Come on, man.
Who do you like? No, but that was. I mean,
arrogance.
Liverpool didn't want to sell their best player, and then you have the audacity to release clause with £1. It's like, well, we're certainly not gonna. Who do you think you are?
It's sad stuff.
It's small things like that where it's like there's got to be such a disconnect from every department at your football club.
Yeah. It's not great. Man U Leeds next weekend. That's going to be interesting. We've got to do a watch on for that one. That's handball there.
Next comment if you want to put that up on the screen.
Oh, there's one there. Of course, man is getting involved. He's got to do something in the game for once. I'll tell you what, it's the most I've seen him run for 4 weeks. So, do you know what? Fair play. I'll tell you what, he should have started against Dundalk the other day. And it sounds silly, but he needs some confidence back.
Yeah, no,
he needs some confidence back. And it's what you do, innit? You know, like when you're playing Football Manager and pre-season friendlies.
What?
I 102. It's my favourite one. What a country mile. But like, what you should do is, organise 3-4 pre-season friendlies against dross teams. Real dross teams, and just pump them because then the club, all the players' morale is through the roof. And then after that, you just crack on, and you have a good start to the season. That's going to be a free kick to Burnley.
That's what you need because with the system you've got, granted not against Burnley because you're the home side. You kind of get like 2 or 3 chances a game if you're being pinned in by like a City. And if Aubameyang's lacking confidence, he's not going to take that 1 chance a game.
No,
so you do need
no.
a team like Dundalk, so he's feeling more confident when he's one-on-one with the keeper.
Do you know what? Saying that, there was someone on the Arsenal. I follow a page called Proper Arsenal, and there's a lot of good stuff on there. It's just a classic fan page on Facebook, and there was someone who said, "Oh, this is why Eddie and Nketiah aren't any good." Right, sorry. Before I go into that is where I'm saying Bellerin is not the same player that he used to be 3-4 years ago. He's not the ball past the man. He's on the end of that normally. He's on the end of that. By the time he takes his second touch, it's pretty much like on the edge of their box. It took forever for him to try and get ahead of his defender. Oh my God, Arsenal try and knock it out from the back. So poor. But yeah, someone said about Eddie Nketiah. He's like, he's had 2-3 opportunities in the first 6 minutes. It's not good enough. You just started the game, man.
Is Arteta's eyebrows drawn on? They don't look real to me. I've seen more realistic eyebrows on 13-year-old girls. Honestly.
Oh my God. Typical council estate bid from one of the biggest clubs in the world. That 40 million £1. Man, it is all we needed to propel at that time, I felt, as well.
Oh, yeah, he made a right cocker because he missed the first 5 games of the season and still scored 31 Premier League goals.
I know.
That exact season after as well.
I know. Sad state of affairs. Right. The thing is, I don't know what Arsenal can do because if we bring on a creative player that we have on the bench in the shape of Emil Smith-Rowe, well, we've got to get the ball to him. I've also got I think Joe Willock's on the bench as well. But even look, just shit passes like that. You don't have to put that much effort into making a simple pass, and he's just so bad.
You're lucky to be playing Burnley. So when you're losing balls in your own half, like I mean, it's a good job it's Burnley attacking you there.
Yeah, I know. I mean, like, no offense to Burnley.
No offense to Burnley, but that's not where they're dangerous.
At the same time,
Burnley ain't going to break you down from the halfway line with a 3-on-2. Burnley
if this goes 0-0 at half time, if this is 0-0 at half time, Burnley are going to feel pretty confident about this.
I don't think Burnley have been that great either, though.
I think they've been all right.
Out of opportunities Arsenal squandered, Burnley should be doing better.
Defensively, they are comfortable. They're just dealing with Arsenal because they're just walking around. There's hardly any movement.
This is your game plan: whipping balls into the box. But
to players that are 3'8".
Lacazette and Aubameyang are players who want to run onto the ball. So why? Surely for this setup, you need a target man.
And it's 2-0 to Leicester.
Who scored the second goal?
Who do you think?
Jamie Vardy.
Indeed, cross from James Justin. It is a classic Gav Mac FIFA goal where just cross it along the floor, right in front of the keeper, just tap it home. Don't mess about.
So Arsenal will stay in 15th if it remains the same then.
Yes.
Or do you go above anyone?
Oh, I think it might be called off for offside. Oh God! Here comes. No, that's his hand. You can't play the ball with his hand. That is. He's onside. He's onside.
Ooh.
Oh God! They're getting tight on this. He's onside. Line's green. Bosh. Goal. Well done.
So,
no messing about.
I want to briefly touch next. I know we'll talk about it in the podcast. There was a Fabinho challenge before the opening goal.
Sweet Lord, that is a pen all day. You've spent all that time to have a look at that VAR, and that is a frigging penalty.
Well, no, okay, so I'll agree with you. I thought it was a penalty, but the reason I thought it wasn't a penalty was because they were taking far too long on it. It was inconclusive when I saw it.
I know what you mean.
So the fact they must have looked at it for about 5 minutes before he went over and looked at it. I was like, well, that's clearly too this just sums up why you shouldn't need VAR for that. Like.
I'm not being funny. At half time, they showed the same thing, right? And they showed one angle. I was like, oh, I don't know. They showed the other angle. I was like, yeah, it's a pen in real time.
No, but there's two angles where it doesn't look like one for one, and as you said, it looks like one for the other. So it's in my book, that's inconclusive.
Yeah, but then if you look at angles to work out the decision, if you look at angles in order to give a decision, then it's a pen, innit? There's no messing about. And yeah, going back to Simon's comment, okay, Gav, January sales coming. Who do you need at Arsenal? We need a new gaffer and we need Hosam Aouar. Neither of those are going to happen. I think defensively, we concede goals every game, but I think personnel wise at the back, I think we're all right. I really think we're all right, and especially when Pablo Mari's fully fit again. It is going to be all right. Tarkowski's down with a head injury.
He's just bored of this game, bless him.
He probably is, isn't he? Bless him.
Who do you need at Arsenal? Anyone.
God. Oh my, bit of James Tarkowski. Oh, it's 3-0. Oh, James. Oh, look at that. What a beautiful curler that is. James Maddison on a hat trick. Beautiful, beautiful finish.
Where does that stick Leicester in the league?
Yeah, edge of the box. Should we get a live league table? Let's have a look at live league table. Live league table.
Leicester go up to...
I think they're second?
24.
No, third, won't they? They'll be third, a point behind.
Yeah.
Yeah, that puts them on 24, right? They're looking all right.
They are looking all right, but they're very inconsistent. Like I see Leicester every time they play a top six club. I'm like, oh, Leicester could do some damage here because they're a tough side to beat. And their counter-attack suits the big teams perfectly. But then when I see them play against, for example, a Fulham, where I think they should absolutely cream them.
That's a great. Oh, I thought that was a great ball. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that Fulham game. That is a classic game. Look, I know you should always say, "Oh, if you did that, then we'll be here." But that is a routine victory, as far as I'm concerned. You win that, you win today. You're top of the league. You're top of the league. You're laughing, absolutely laughing. It's not the only one that's bored. Zero creativity from Arsenal, mediocre at best. Wow, I still think that's brave.
I
think mediocre is quite nice. Where's he off to? He's off. It's not looking great for Arsenal. There's a minute to go at the end of this first half. El Neni is looking around to see if there's anyone there. He's just finding a static Arsenal shirt. Willian looks... Oh, he's so poor. Oh, he's tried to go for it. Saka on the edge of the box. He's just cleaned out Brownhill. He's won the ball back. He's having a look and see who's around. Aubameyang on the edge of the box. He's getting his ball tangled under his feet. Looks for Willian. Willian can see Tierney, but I don't think they're on the same page.
Sorry, can you hear that?
And Loughton clears the ball to safety. Sorry, Ed.
Sorry, can you hear that fan? I don't want it to be going.
No, I couldn't hear it at all, mate.
Sound. Because it got really hot in this room.
Really hot. Right. I am going to nip to the loo, not going to lie. There's a comment that's come on the screen. Ed, I'll leave you to read that comment and you can answer that and I'll reply when I come back.
All right, let's get it back to me. Problem is, Arsenal haven't had a proper goal scorer since Ian Wright. We had Henry, who was a winger, come centre forward, being fed by Bergkamp. After that, Van Persie, who was better after he left the club because he was urged to his strengths, and the same. Now with Giroud, when are we going to get a goal scorer that can score 25, 30 goals a season? Never, because they cost more than the board are willing to pay. Defence, we are short. We need a stronger defensive midfielder to give those possible good players. We have some chance. I don't know if there's more to that message, but it hasn't come through on my end. Yeah, I completely agree with you. Arsenal seems to be run by a load of quantity surveyors. The problem is with Arsenal that there's not just one. I think you don't have the right manager. You don't have the right players. You don't have the board to replace the players. You don't even have the board to get the right manager. I mean, Carlo Ancelotti was the much better fit than Arteta. Arteta has no qualifications, which put him in line for the Arsenal job. Arsenal. I mean, like, we all like to take the piss. Well, I say we all like to take the piss. I'm openly a Liverpool fan. Banter between mates. Arsenal have been a bit of a banter club the last few years. But it's still Arsenal. You know, top club. Arteta should be nowhere near that. And you've got a lot of luxury players. Bellerin, he'd only be good in the team of superstars. Unless he's at the top team, he's awful. Ozil was the same. So I don't know why you'd want him to come back, because he'd just be as effective as bloody Bellerin. You just leak more goals. It's worrying times, because where do you really go from there? Because it's a multi-layered formula why Arsenal are poor.
It runs very, very deep, and this is what I mean. I want to understand who's still there from the Wenger era, not player-wise. I'm talking about backroom staff.
Surely because Unai come in and he must have brought his own team.
He brought his pals along.
Did Arteta have one? I doubt it.
No, Arteta, he brought his pals. He's got Steve Round.
Who's that?
Great. He was his pal at Everton.
Okay.
It's just poor, man. The only time Arsenal look any good, and I'm not talking about personnel wise, is like in terms of not personnel. I'm not talking in terms of opposition skill set of the opposition. Is in the Europa League, and they put their fringe and kids out, and Arsenal look fantastic. They're fluid, they're hungry, they're knocking the ball about, they're having shots. It's actually quite exciting watching Arsenal on a Thursday. How sad is that?
I know, yeah,
So
of course, but I mean, you're still winning that game 4-2. You're very open at the back. It's very expansive football. Burnley are a
yeah,
better side than Dundalk.
but
You
this
know,
is
you'd be
this
very
yeah.
naive to do that, but at least you'd
No,
be.
but then like even like the Rapid Vienna game and stuff, you know, it's just in terms of like as soon as it gets to a Premier League game, Arsenal looks scared, and it's literally fear factor. It's disgusting. It's
What are you
boring.
trying
It's
to
horrible.
defend? Because you're in 15th. Defence is now should not be the critical focus.
Yeah,
You
it's
need
almost
to
like
score
damage
goals.
limitation. We need to stay up
Yeah.
this season. Let's make sure we sit back and we'll stay up. No, mate,
Stop
that's
setting
not
up
how
as
it
the second
works.
best team. We already know you're the second best team because you're 15th. Like,
Yeah,
get at them.
yeah.
Because
It's
as much
it's
as
hard
I
work,
used
man.
to say the opposite when Arsenal were under Wenger and Emery. You play nice football, but you leak too many goals. Them two managers and them two teams at least got fourth or fifth or roundabout.
Well, we only ever under Wenger, the lowest he ever finished is
Fifth.
fourth. It's fifth. Sorry, yeah, we finished fifth in his final season. Um, that's not exactly bad, is it?
It's not bad. Like,
I
it's a whole other
think that's
conversation.
pretty
You
good.
definitely needed a breath of fresh air. You needed to change, but
We did need to change. We need to change to move forwards.
I mean, I think
We
Arsenal
weren't
fans, you were
moving
so
forwards.
desperate
That's
for
the
the
issue.
change. Like, you picture the promised lands, and then turns out it is as rough as everyone expected it to be. But it's hard
Well,
moving on with a manager with such a legacy.
yeah, I'm not because there's players. What I say is players, it's fans that will turn around and say, non-Arsenal fans, by the way, that will turn around and say, "Huh, you always thought it was going to be better after Wenger." Rah rah. I bet you'd love to have Wenger back now. No,
Yeah, of
I would
course.
not. I wouldn't want to have Wenger back because that's going backwards.
Yeah.
You know, and honestly, I don't think Sir Alex Ferguson would be able to get a tune out of a different type of tune out of Man United right now.
He wouldn't be able to
Because
get to Old Trafford, bless him.
well, he's there every week, isn't he? But won't be able to get
He
downstairs.
doesn't
But
leave.
yeah, he's got a room. Like he just
Yeah.
keeps there.
He can't travel that, bless him. No,
Here we
and then
go.
no way. Because that's
Not
exactly the same problem with Arteta.
Not a chance. It's just an ex-player. It's the romanticism behind it. You know, oh, let's get the old guard. Let's get the old lot back in. All right, let's get Ian Wright on strikers, like looking after the strikers. We'll get Tony Adams looking after the defenders. We'll get Paddy Vieira on tactic. No, this is wrong.
New
It's
York.
wrong. He had an okay time there, and then he's lost a few games at Nice, and Nice were never going to be doing anything special anyway. Let's be honest. But no, he's not the right guy to take Arsenal forwards. I honestly think we should have done it. I've said it, and I've said it for years. And I said the most recent time I had my full-on rant about it was the end of the 15-16 season, the season that I feel that Arsenal truly should have gone on and won the title, especially the fact that we beat Leicester home and away that season, you know, and we were a point behind them. Next thing you know, we are second in the title on the last day of the season, 10 points behind them, without any true shout of actually getting the title. Leave, man. Get out the club. You don't need to be there anymore. And at that point, that needed a Simeone, an Ancelotti, an Allegri, and I said all of those names then. 2018, same thing again. You know, let's look at an Allegri or an Ancelotti because Simeone signed a new contract. He was never going to leave there and do anything. That was the case. Should have done that at that point. Going for Emery was terrible. Emery was due to take over at Real Sociedad. And then Arsenal sniffed around and he turned down Sociedad to come to Arsenal. Do I blame him for doing that? Not a chance. Of course I don't blame him, because if I was in that same position, I would have done the same thing. I've got an half-decent club looking at me, which I wouldn't mind, and I've got an elite club, a top-tier club, as Arsenal are. Whether we're having a terrible time in the last few years or not, Arsenal is still a top-tier elite club. I am then going to take that job because that's offered to me. What can I do? And Arsenal lost their first two games of that season when he took over. won against City. Well, we opened against City and against Chelsea. We lost both games. And then Arsenal went on a 22-game unbeaten streak. But I swear to God, Arsenal still didn't look comfortable in any of those games. Didn't look it didn't look the amount of times Arsenal 1-0 down, make a substitution at half time, and then go off and win the game. Yeah, it's great. That's exactly what Solskjaer's doing right now. Losing a game, sort something out, make a little tweak, and then go on and win it. You can't run an organisation like that. It can't be done. And the fact that Emery was at PSG in a one-team league and came second. Yes, Monaco had a good squad that year, but you came second with all that money and all that talent and all that in your arsenal. To think of a better pun, and still come second. Not good enough, man. He's having a good season so far. I'll give him that. Villarreal won't last.
If you are going to get someone, I think instead of taking such a risk, I would get someone with Premier League experience. I don't mean like a bottom tier Premier League experience, but someone who's at least managed in the Premier League before.
What, like an Eddie Howe?
Right now, no, I don't mean like Eddie Howe. I mean, as I said, Carlo would have been a good one because he'd already done it at Chelsea. But
yeah.
That kind of level. I mean, can you think of any managers off the top of your head which formerly worked in here, which you know elsewhere now?
Well, formerly worked in here. I can't think of anyone who would be of the standard that Arsenal aspire to be at.
Yeah,
I generally can't think of anyone who would do that. We'd have to look at a gaffer from abroad. I like the idea of going for a rookie manager. I really do. But for me, it should have been an Ancelotti that came in after Wenger left. Ancelotti come in, hard manager, solid manager. What a CV he has. Steady the ship, 3-4 seasons, and then even if they turn around and said, "All right, Arteta, in the fourth season, this is a 4-year contract. In the fourth season, you're going to come in and stand underneath. You're going to stand underneath Ancelotti. That's your job, because Ancelotti is moving on this season. Regardless of what happens, he is not getting a new contract, and you are the next person in. He will be able to learn from that. Arteta would be doing a brilliant job at Arsenal right now if Pep was the previous gaffer, but he ain't. Pep ain't the previous gaffer. It was a shambles there from Emery. Emery, who guided Arsenal to a Europa League and also a Europa League final, and a 5th place finish. And no, he didn't get an FA Cup.
Manager, you'll get on the cheap, and you want a bit of longevity from him to create like a project, like I don't know, like maybe
can't go cheap. That's the issue.
Hear me out. Surely the Leipzig manager would have been a better option. Experience at Hoffenheim. Hasenhüttl. Not Hasenhüttl.
Not Hasenhüttl, sorry. Nagelsmann.
Manager, he was doing bits at Hoffenheim, ended up getting the Leipzig job because of that. He's done great there. That would have been a perfect one. He's an experienced manager across the board.
And it's sad that kid, right, is a year older than me, and he is vastly more experienced than what we're looking at the moment, because that's what I mean. Oh God, it's frustrating.
Well,
he's a shoo-in for the
playing in the last ever qualifier for an English club because they got rid of it the following year. Fourth place used to have to qualify still. We had Hoffenheim in a 2-legged affair, and they were a good outfit. And that was because of him. And obviously, he's then gone on to do well at Leipzig after following Hasenhüttl. So. And you got to look at it. They got to a semi-final of the Champions League, regardless whether it was a one-legged affair.
Yeah, they had a brilliant record in the Bundesliga last year. They came second. They should have gone on and won it. Is their home form that screwed them over last season, especially after lockdown. They only won 1 of 9 at home, but they only lost 1 in the league away from home all season. Should Arsenal go after Pochettino? It's a bit late for that now because I think he's a shoo-in, absolute shoo-in for the Dortmund job, and we'll be going into depth about the Dortmund thing on Wednesday night show at 7:00. But Lucien Favre is no longer at Dortmund. There's a gaffer who is out there right now who is available. There's 2 gaffers out there that are bloody decent at what they do, and they're available. One is Massimo Allegri, and the other one is Mauricio Pochettino. Honestly, and I also said last season as well, when Arsenal were linked with Mourinho, I said, go get him, go get Mourinho, go steady the ship. Look what he's done at Spurs. He's steadied the ship, and now they're knocking around doing their thing. Are they playing boring football?
Probably
yes, they
Poch
are.
would be a better option out of them two, because, as I said, I think you should go someone who knows the Premier League. Because even if you get the right manager, you could then have to go through a whole year of him trying to get used to the league. It's like, oh.
Yeah, well, yeah. But I think then you would be given time.
You can't do it over here.
You'd be given time to get used to the league. I think, just say if this was Allegri right now and Arsenal were doing what they're doing right now, yeah, I would accept it a lot more than Arteta, because he's never managed over here.
Mm-hmm.
He's never done it. And you can say, well, Arteta's never had a head job over here. No, he hasn't. But it's sat under arguably one of the best, if not the best manager world football has ever seen. Or has at least got them to a level where he is a top 3 manager of all time. Right, now you're drunk, Gary. Now you're drunk.
Neil Lennon sums it up perfectly. Everyone thought he might be a good manager because he did bits at Celtic, and then I think he went to Bolton, I believe, and every attempt he had at cracking the English league was an absolute shambles. And he went back to Celtic. The fact he went back to Celtic said he gave up on that dream. If you think he can do it at the top level of English football, you've got no chance. The guy can't even do it at Celtic anymore.
Oh no, sad form.
And he has one competition. If he comes to the Premier League, he'll have 6 or 7.
8.
And then that's not including the rest of the Premier League.
I know. Right, we're back off and running in the second half. 30 seconds in. It's still 0-0. Arsenal's home record is so good, but it's not looking great. We're playing exactly the same amount of games at home in the Premier League at Highbury as we have at the Emirates. Now, this is more fluid. This is lovely already. I'm seeing so much more in this first minute. But there's Willian cutting back, slowing it down.
Will this just last 10 minutes?
Of course it will. Well, last any longer than that. And then Willian offside. Silly.
Oh, God, I thought he genuinely punched that then. I was like, what is he playing at?
Nah, I'm not being funny, right? If you are looking along the line, there is no excuse for being caught offside. Do you know what, Gary? You're right. That is Arsenal's attitude from the board. It is. It's like, oh, he's on cheap. You know, what can he bring? Oh, well, you know, he's got experience.
You happy with the Willian signing?
Would Willian signing?
I thought it'd be quite good, especially after that first week performance. I was like, oh, here we go.
Oh yeah, against Fulham, where you know, like it's not hard to beat. It's not hard to beat Fulham. Come on.
I'll leave it out.
Hey, I've got something. Just let me have that one, because it's not really looking good.
Yeah, sure, no worries, man.
Cheers, mate. Appreciate it. But no, it's so. Willian, do you know what I expected to see, actually? I expected to see Willian play sort of in behind. I was hoping that creativity would have been knocking around in that sort of position. I didn't expect him to come to Arsenal and be playing out wide. And the fact that he is, that disgusts me.
It disgusts
me. Yeah, he's not good enough to be in that position. Against the sort of players that were playing in the Premier League.
Chelsea fans hated Willian. I didn't know that until I.
Oh my God! Yeah, they can't stand him. I didn't mind him.
No, I say I didn't mind him. I loved him. I hated seeing him attack the Liverpool defence or anyone for that matter. I thought it was fantastic. And then, but I didn't realise there was this whole hate culture around it. So
God, yeah, they
part of it. When I see him move to Arsenal, I was like, they don't know what they've sold.
Yeah, you get those players though, don't you? Where you just got mad love for them. They're not actually all that. I've got one in the Bundesliga.
I mean, I watch a lot of football. I'd probably go as far as saying I'd probably watch a lot of Chelsea because they're a top side.
Yeah.
But maybe I didn't watch enough. Maybe there was a lot of Willian I didn't see week in, week out. Or
Yeah, he's lazy, man. He don't put any effort in whatsoever. He gets an assist every 5 games, and it's like, oh, he just got an assist there. He looks really good. Yeah. Don't go inside.
Messi needs to put more of a shift in at Barcelona. I'm getting frustrated watching him now. I'm like, I know you don't want to be there, mate, but at least jog. Like,
mate, he's going to be 34 in May. Do you know what I mean? Give him a break.
I don't. Oh, leave out. No, he's not. That's Ronaldo. He's only 33, 32, isn't he? 32. Isn't
Messi, me and Messi would be in the same school year.
And that's where the comparisons end, right there.
Yeah. We could have gone to school together. When me and Leo went to school and that, he was all right, and me and him, I was actually taller than him as well at one point. Do you know what I mean?
The lads always thought I'd go further.
Yeah, they did. Everyone knows I got a wand of a left peg as it is anyway, but it's just, he
literally has a wooden peg. It was a freak.
I just met too many girls and started, doing too many drugs. Like every kid player. That's their reason.
Like every teenager does
basically not because I was just shit. Here we go, Tierney. Oh
man, that should have been it. I can hear the excitement in your voice.
Tierney with his right peg.
I thought that was it then.
I'm not being funny. This is so wrong. Aubameyang wide left, squeezing the ball into Tierney on the penalty spot. And it's not a corner. That should be the other way around.
It's an Arteta masterclass.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. He learnt it from memory. Learnt it from the best. All right. I feel sorry for Brighton. Brighton have had a really good season. I'll tell you what, their league position really does not tell the story of how well they've played. Today, they are being outclassed by Leicester. It's still 3-0 over there. Played 4 minutes in the second half.
But that's another example. I mean, Brighton will feel absolutely hard done by last week, losing 2-1 to Southampton. I think it's a similar thing we're seeing with Sheffield United, where they put so much into last week and still didn't get a result.
Yeah. That's got to be a good ball. Oh, God. This is so easy. Easy to defend. Here comes the resident Spurs man. Here we go. Ian Colwell watching the show. Thank you very much for watching. Brighton should be above Arsenal. Yes, they should. That's the thing. Yes, they should. They have played brilliantly. Every game that they've lost, apart from this one. Well, in fact, they haven't even played badly in this game against Leicester. What it is, they can't really get a foothold on the game. Leicester have just been too powerful for them. That's the issue. So it's... They are really unlucky to be in the situation they are. Arsenal 10 attempts to Burnley's 2. Arsenal have 3 attempts on target, but they've all just been straight at Pope. Here come Arsenal on the attack again. Aubameyang, he's just found Willian. He's crossed it in. Oh, that's a good save. Oh, Saka. Saka's hit it first time. He would have wished that he got a cleaner connection on that, to be honest. I think this is the first time that...
problem necessarily with your young players, because the whole blend of young players with experience is essential for a successful side, in my opinion. Well, it's not as much of an opinion; it's a fact. The problem is, I only have trust in your young players.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. It's sad.
The experience they've got to call upon is probably your weak links.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to see Emma Smith Rowe come on and just be like, you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to do what I want, because I'm just going to do what I want when I want. There's no fear, got no pressure, and that's what you want to see. Saka with his Shaka with only probably his 3rd touch of the game, just squeezing the ball wide to Tierney, whose cross is cleared, and that's Shaka's 4th touch, and it just bounces off Brady. I actually like Granit Xhaka as well. I do defend him a hell of a lot. I think I defend him more so than any other Arsenal fan in the world, even more than Gladbach fans.
I got the impression had been forgiven for that incident.
No, I think he's like, He's been forgiven for me. I think the performances that he's put in has made me forgive him. I wanted him done after that Palace game. That's like
really?
comparing me and James Wade and darts. You've got a way better attitude, Gary, than James Wade has. And the only thing difference between you and James Wade, I think that is slightly better at double 10. That's all I'm giving.
Do you watch darts, Gav? I know you're into it, but do you watch?
Yes,
it?
mate. Yeah, I've got tickets to the World Finals, mate. But we're going to be in tier 3, so I won't be able to go.
You're not allowed to. Surely you
We're going to be in tier 3 come in a couple of days' time. So
Really?
deflected shot just gone over the bar. There was no chance that Pope would have got there if that was on target.
Northampton.
Oh, I know all the mandating in it. I know what's good, blood. Right, Shaka.
I was worrying I was going to have to socialise with people this Christmas.
Oh,
that's a relief.
No, he's got a CS lot. Great cross. Come on. Oh,
that's it.
God.
That should be. Oh.
It's not frustrating
Who's
at all.
Arsenal's next game against?
Everton next Saturday at Goodison.
See, that's the thing, man. Cheers, Ian, man. Means a lot.
Oh, cheers, Ian. Oh, and big up to the Dynamo boys. Did Dynamo play this morning? I want to know. And if they did, how did they get along? The Dynamo, they're a Sunday morning side in Northampton. They're a Sunday morning side in Northampton. Are you off to the loo? Okay, no worries. I'll talk about FC Dynamo for a couple of moments. They are a bloody good Sunday morning club, and they've got such a following. It's crazy. So to the point that they've got their own newsletter. And what's wonderful, there's advertising space in that place, and I love that. And we get a little shout out every week in the newsletter from me and Caldwell. So thank you very much as Arsenal come on the attack again. And here's Tierney. He's found, like I said, on the edge of the box. It's played through to Willian. Oh, it's feeds across the box, and Ben Mee's cleared it off the feet of Saka. Oh, that's horrible. Oh, that's GBH there from Granit Xhaka. Referee was only going to give a free kick. Oh, Xhaka. Oh, he's losing his head here. He's pushed him in the chest. Luckily, I think that's only going to result in a yellow card. No, it's a push in his chest. Oh, my God. What is that about? I don't understand why everyone's getting so fiery about this game. It's not really... It's not had any bite whatsoever. And now we're having a look to see what's going on. Xhaka will get in trouble, but I think it only should be a yellow card. Him and Dwight McNeil had a bit of beef, and then he's kicked off with someone else to kick it off with Tarky. And he's got a yellow card, rightfully so. Pushed him in the chest. I think it's Dwight McNeil he pushed in the chest in the end. sad state of affairs, that. Yeah, a little bit of, the ladies, predominantly ladies' accessory.
Oh, really? And that's the end
it's a horrible tackle, to be honest. That should be a yellow card anyway, but I don't think that Graham Scott was going to give anything anyway for that. No, that's the replay of it. Ashley Barnes is about to come on. Ashley Barnes is coming on for Jay Rodriguez. Now, that is a player that if he didn't suffer those knee injuries, he would. Oh, no, they're VAR in it. Oh, he's grabbed him around the neck. Oh, my God, he's going to go. Xhaka's going to go. I thought he just pushed him on the chest. Why has he grabbed him around the neck? He's off. Westwood. He's going to have a look at the VAR screen. Here we go. For the love of Jesus, man.
That's last 57 minutes. Still a long way to go as well.
This is absolute shambles.
You know, you said about
bring Pepe on.
Like irate about this game. It's because the Arsenal players are under so much pressure now.
I don't think they are even put under pressure by the gaffer. Here we go. Yellow card, no. Red card, yes. Here we go. He's going to get his card out. Come here. Have a conversation. Yellow card, no. Red card, yes. Off goes Xhaka.
Commentator's curse, that.
That is absolutely poor form. What isn't poor form is the Dynamo boys, as I mentioned before. They won 4-2 this morning. Brilliant stuff. Proud of you, boy. And Simon, is that the Shaka card I needed? Yes. Yes, it is. It's a red card. And if you've got booking points, that's even better because it's a straight red. But then what happens to Westwood? Because he's pushed him over. Oh, has he pushed him over? I don't think he has pushed him over. I think he's just trying to wade through. Here we go. Oh, Burnley. Burnley should be 1-0 up now. Will they? Tarkovsky? No. I reckon Burnley will be quite wound up the fact that they made that change now because they've gone like for like. Whereas if that red card was after, they could have really put the sword in. But then again, they don't normally do that, do they? It's very rare that Burnley. Excuse me. It's very rare that Burnley will change formation with substitution. All their subs are always like for like.
Have Arsenal
What we got here? What's that? No changes. Looks like there's going to be a change now. No, there's no change. Need to see Ceballos. Needs to see Ceballos for a bit of energy. Personally,
do you leave yourself more exposed at 10 men?
No, because you take off one of the forward players. Take off Willian. He's not doing anything.
I agree.
He's not part of the team here. What substitution they're making? It's Arsenal sub Lacazette. Take off Lacazette, and they're bringing on Ceballos. Yeah, so I understand that, but I don't understand why Willian's still on the pitch.
Real question is, why is Ceballos cut his hair?
I quite like it. I didn't like it the couple of weeks ago, but now he's got the fade going on. I prefer it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, his fade is certainly on the way up. So
yeah, definitely
changing Arsenal this week.
I'm waiting for Stephen Cotton to join, and the reason why is because Gary's asked this question: would you take Sean Dyche? Now, at the end of last season, we were talking about Sean Dyche for England, and we talk about Burnley not having any creativity, and if they had a creative spark in their team, they'd actually be all right. I don't think Burnley are a bad side. They're just quite boring because they've tried playing Dwight McNeil in behind. They try and play Ashley Barnes and like sometimes as a support like that. Doesn't work. So I don't know. Most red cards since Arteta's appointment. Arsenal have had 7. Other teams, 5 other teams got 3. So Arsenal have had 7 red cards in the last 11 months.
Surely a lot of that's got to just be down to chance. Surely.
Yeah, here we go. No, I don't think it's that. I just think it's. I don't. I don't know.
It could be a sign of just hanging on for last-ditch tackles and.
No, because Arsenal there's been a couple of unlucky reds. You know, I look at when was it Xhaka who got sent off? Saka who got sent off against no, it was Eddie and Nketiah.
Red would be when the player does something idiotic like Pepe heading.
No. Yeah, that's just silly. You know what you're doing there. That's a dumb move. But like when you look at, for instance, the red card that Arsenal got against Leicester last season, where he's sort of like caught your man. I don't think there's any malice in it whatsoever, and he got a straight red for it. He was devastated. Everyone was devastated. Got that. Aubameyang did one as well. I don't think that was under. Oh no, that would have been under Arteta because we were down there, weren't we? We went to that Palace game, didn't we? So I am.
Was that a draw? That game? I can't remember.
That was a draw. Yeah. Arsenal failing to win from winning position again.
That was only this year. How mad is that?
Oh no, it feels like ages ago, doesn't it? It was January.
Let people know we went to Palace and there was fans there and it was. It's hard to think that everything that happened afterwards.
Yeah. This is. I can see Burnley going to win this game. Mrs. is moaning because she didn't put any money on Burnley winning the game.
7-1, wasn't it?
Burnley to win 1-0 was 20-1. Was 20-1. Don't know what it is now. Obviously, I don't want to look too much because we're behind. Because I waited for you. Some nice like that.
Don't look at all that. People shaking their ass. Oh, I know that fan. He's been on Arsenal fan TV before.
Oh, was he?
One with the like Nigerian hat.
Oh, was it? Oh, yeah. I think I know who you're on about.
You know who I'm on about?
Ty. Is it Ty?
No, he's the one who wears like. He's the
He's wears the big cans, isn't it?
Yeah,
Here come Arsenal on the break.
Found in the gift shop. Like,
here we go. Crosses. Who's there? No one. Loughton header. And Burnley clear their lines, but no, no. I don't want advantage there, ref. I want a free kick. Oh, Bamian with a strike from distance.
all right though.
It's not a distance from an angle, I should say, not from distance. It's about 10 yards out, but it's just an angle. Oh, I'll tell you what, that's the best ball that Willian has put in. And it's cleared away by Ben Mee, and it's a corner to Arsenal.
Right, apologies, I could not wait. I had to eat them.
Yeah, no worries. What were you eating? What was that?
Curry.
It looked good. Arsenal had 10 corners. And
This
done
season
nothing
or
from
this
them.
game?
Hey, no, we get a lot of corners. We just don't do a lot from them. Oh, God. It's just a poor ball again. Here comes
Burnley
corner 11. No. Burnley to win 1-0 is 4-1 now. No, I picked up 20-1 before the game started. Cheers, girls.
Have we heard from Cotton at all?
Briefly, he's been watching, catching up on games and stuff, making sure he's ready for the review show. I was hoping that he was going to squeeze in for us with beforehand, but it's no problem. We'll see you in a bit, Stephen.
Oh, curious. I've not checked my phone.
Oh,
I don't know. This has 0-0 written all over it. I'm sorry. I don't even see a Burnley one. Oh, that was brilliant. Don't know if he intended to do that. But...
I don't know if he did or either, but fair play to him. I don't understand why Spurs aren't starting games at the moment. He's already offered more energy in midfield in the 6 minutes he's been on the pitch than El Neni and Xhaka have done. Oh, Ben Mee. Bloody hell, that's a strike.
It took a slight deflection as well, so that could have ended up anywhere.
That could have gone anywhere.
What's Junior Gunners? That is that?
Junior Gunners. Yeah, that's the one for the kids. Yeah, that's the little one that you could hear.
The little one you can hear. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, she's having a right on moan. She ain't happy what she's seeing at the moment. Arteta out? Did you say? Yeah, she's only like 8 weeks old. She said Arteta out.
Well, if you needed more proof than that,
Isn't it? She knows no different. That's why I'm bringing kids into a terrible world like where Arsenal are awful. No, they did get a nick on that. That was a straight shot. If that did get a nick on it, that's going top bin. Mm. Oh, look at Arsenal taking a goal kick and they're looking at going long. It's a change.
You're right there, Claire.
you got picked up there. It just goes, you are there, Claire. Yeah, she's all right.
It's all kicking off in the Gav house.
Proper. Oh, Chiefs getting beat as well, I think. Jesus
I tell you what, it's
Christ.
a shame because I was actually saying to Cam when we went down to see. Well, I say we went
Oh
down.
no, we're not getting beat. We're cleared. We're leading nicely. Sorry,
I
carry
was
on.
looking forward to going to see an NFL game at the new Tottenham Stadium because they were
Me
gonna use
too.
that
I
one,
was actually buzzing to actually go to Spurs for the. Oh, here he goes. Aubameyang, go on. Oh, it's a good
Wow.
save. That's a good save. Flag on it. Don't worry about it. Who cares? He didn't know that at the time, though. The
We
flags
went
are
down
going
there
up.
for the Tottenham Chelsea game, which ended in complete disaster. And
Yeah, it's offside.
it might be the most impressive stadium I've ever seen from an external point of view. I've not
Yeah, I mean, like me and Buck, we went down when we were doing a bit of filming for for the show and stuff.
Was that
Yeah,
when you took them pictures?
yeah. When we went to Ashley Barnes over the bar for Barnes.
Ashley couldn't hit a band door.
Couldn't hit a band or don't look like Northantonians when they're like proper like car back.
I do that.
You
I
don't
say
go,
it with Cam.
you don't go that deep. You're not like bah.
No, so yeah, because I've worked like all around the country for just in construction. I've picked up loads of different accents from working in different places. So I'll think about what I'm saying here. But if you let me free roam on site, I sound like a catastrophe.
So off comes Chris Wood and on comes Matej Vidra. I like Vidra. A lot of people say he's a championship striker. I think he deserves more of a chance in the Premier League. Personally, good striker.
What's happened with Xhaka? Is that Dylan?
Oh, Dill, how are you, pal? Welcome to the show. Oh, you clicked at the same time. Xhaka lost his head, frankly.
I wouldn't say lost his head. It's not like
he did. He thought he was pushed over by Ashley Westwood, but Ashley Westwood actually tripped over him. He's got up and he has grabbed him around the throat. Card. Originally got a card and then no. Is this a card? Yeah, definitely a card. Bellerin getting there late on Charlie Taylor, who's not that quick. So yeah, Bellerin to go, man. Honestly, sorry, mate. He's now going to miss the game at Southampton, which is not a bad thing. For picking up 5 yellow cards in the season. Oh bloody hell! No, Southampton's midweek. Yeah, Southampton. Arsenal got Southampton midweek, and then Everton at the weekend. So we might have to do a show on Friday, boys and girls. All right. Yes, so here comes a free kick, 19 minutes to go, and oh bloody hell, it's a corner. Bellerin sort of made up for it there, has headed it over the bar. Nice little cheeky delivery. Where's it going to go? That was on a plate for Vidra. If that wasn't cut out by Bellerin. So it's a corner. This is Burnley's game, and they've got a rely on set of pieces now. There's 2 players down. It looks like Tarkovsky and El Neni. El Neni looks guilty.
I think that just might be you, panicking.
Oh my god, that's a penalty, man.
That's a penalty.
That's a penalty. I told you he looks guilty.
What an idiot.
What's he doing? What is he doing? He's putting a bit of his hand in his face.
Put this on. I love hindsight.
Possible red, violent conduct. I want to go for a red.
Well, there's no need to do it.
No, but like I understand. He's pushing him off because It's pushing him off so he can like get.
No, got a yellow card, but it's a penalty.
Right, at I'd play started. I'd play started at that point.
Oh, so it's not.
No, yeah. So
what's he moaning about, bro? You got a yellow card.
I would change man now. I wouldn't put him on him. No way. I'll tell you what. If that ball had been whipped in before, there you go. There's the goal.
1-0.
Brownhill.
Fuck! I should have put money on this.
Sorry about the 5 that I put on.
Wow.
It's 1-0 to Burnley.
Sorry, Gav, I don't know how to do it. Are you able to change the score on the?
Yeah, I could do that.
20 to 1 for Arsenal to win now.
Arsenal are now 20 to 1 to win, but that's not going to happen. So if you put £1 on Arsenal to win at 20 to 1, you'll lose £1.
Yeah, I can't.
I knew it.
Arsenal.
Who's it? Is it Aubameyang own goal? So Aubameyang back.
What does that do on a fantasy?
Maitland-Niles.
Wow, I mean,
wow, hear that stat? The first time ever.
To actually see Burnley 1, Arsenal 0, even though I felt it was theirs for the taking, just really hits home, doesn't it? The situation.
Yeah. Now, what I'm worried about is that Burnley might score again, because I had Burnley at 1-0. No. I had Burnley 1-0, and I wouldn't mind winning £100 off it rather than not winning anything at all. So yeah, I expected that anyway. But I'm not being funny. It's 10 times. It's 10 times the amount. I might just take it anyway. Yeah, there you go.
Honestly, as a neutral, usually when I see managers getting sacked this early, I'll write them off. Especially a club like Arsenal, especially considering you've already sacked one since Wenger. But
yeah,
I do have this feeling in my stomach, like people will be calling for his job, even the club will sack him.
I am sorry, but you cannot equate for that. It's Arsenal's worst start in 40 years.
And I said the same thing because you won the opening 2 games, and it's easy to get carried away after the first 2 games. You did it.
Well, it weren't even convincing the first 2 games. So I'll tell you the funniest thing in the world has happened. It's not the funniest thing. It really isn't. Stuttgart winning 5-1 at Segunda Park is the funniest thing. That is the funniest thing. This is just embarrassing. And here come Burnley again. They might get another here.
I know, I wanted to put money on this.
They need to be a bit more realistic.
Oh, bloody hell. How's he? Oh, that's come off Gabriel.
Great football, though, wasn't it?
Lovely football. Look, Burnley are filled with confidence right now. And I'll tell you what, I told Robbie 1-0.
It shouldn't be.
It's barely a foul, that, isn't it? Barely a foul.
Jesus.
Honestly, Arsenal, I'll tell you what, I think Arsenal are just losing a couple of quid at the moment in general. So what they've done, they're just playing terribly so they can fill some money into AFTV's pocket and then claim off the back of it. But that's what they're trying to do. Oh, God.
I mean, the only downside to doing this stream is the fact I can't watch Arsenal fan TVs. Honestly. It's the only downside to it.
Oh, God, I thought I was going in. Charlie
It's
Taylor.
like watching Benefit
Good it.
Street.
Look at them. They're enjoying themselves, aren't they? That's headed away by Gabriel. Oh, God. That's, where's that come on? That's come off El Neni. Whew.
Gav, you're our resident Arsenal fan. When is enough? I mean,
enough.
Without your Arsenal shirt on, as your football term.
Enough is now. Enough is now.
Yeah.
It is because you are 12 games in. You don't look anywhere near like winning a game. The next 3 games are Southampton, Everton, and Chelsea.
Imagine if you lose all 3.
I can't see any wins from any of those. I think best, I think Arsenal could get a draw from Southampton at best. But that game,
3rd or 4th.
Yeah. Everton are out of form, but it's at Goodison and they've got fans. Arsenal fans don't make any difference anyway. It's a load of, it's so embarrassing going to watch the Arsenal and celebrating when Arsenal score, and people, other Arsenal fans, look at you like, "What are you doing? Why are you shouting?" It's like, hold on a minute, that's my club. I'm celebrating my team here. And that's what it's like at the Arsenal. I hate going down, but I love going down at the same time because it's my club and I want to see my club perform. But
I never
Everton,
got to go to Highbury. Did you?
no, I never did. None of my friends were big fans of Arsenal. I was 19 when we moved.
Yeah.
So I never had a chance to go to Highbury, and it kills me. It kills me inside. One of my pals said that he was going to sort me out for the Villarreal game in the Champions League semi-final, and it was he went missing. He went missing completely, and I was like, "You're a prick." That was my only chance to go down, and you've mugged me off. And to be fair, it's horrible. And to be fair, the following season, our first season in the Emirates, he must have sorted me out about 10, 15 games, no lie. Premier League, Champions League, League Cup. You know, he sorted me right out, and I didn't have to pay for any of them, which is brilliant. But I would have taken every one of those away to have been at Highbury to watch a game. 100%.
I agree with you, mate. I completely agree with you.
Is what it is. George living in Northampton. Yeah.
I mean, I've been to Highbury.
Yeah, I've been to Highbury, but I've never been to watch a game. Yeah.
What they've done though is fantastic.
It looks lovely.
What a way to return to the football stadium.
Yeah, they've done a great job. And if I had the wedge, I would buy an apartment there. And we haven't spoken about the Leicester Brighton game because it is still 3-0 over there. Still 3-0. But Brighton could have pulled one back with a free kick, little training ground move, which Solly March had a dig at, deflected off Fofana, and it went out for a corner.
Oh, this is not a good watch. It's
not nice for Arsenal at all here. I think I'm shot my load early by cashing out, but I'm not being funny. A fiver on, could have returned 100. It allowed me to cash out for 50 quid. I'll take that.
No, you definitely take that.
It's 10 times the amount in it. So
Premier League review show is going to be very interesting.
Yeah, there's other games.
There's other games. Yeah.
There's other games. There's other games.
Yeah, Cotton's going to have a field day. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's going to have a right old knees up. It's got to go. That's got to spread.
Surely.
Oh God. And this is another thing with Arsenal. When it gets to the 18-yard box, like no one wants to just put their foot through it. It's all like, oh no, it's like hot potato. That's what that's exactly what it is. No one wants to take the game by the neck and be like, you know, I'm gonna have a dig here. Players don't do that, and that's been going on for years. And even when Arsenal have signed players that love to have a dig, they don't. Like that's just a pathetic shot from Gabriel. He didn't need to do that there. And little Eddie's about to come on, but what's he going to offer? Who's he going to come on for? Willian. So Willian has still stolen 82 minutes from this game. Look, Nketiah don't even want to come on. Do you see what he looked like?
Yeah, he did.
He was literally like standing there, like blank face, like, oh. Some people might turn around and say he's focused, he's just preparing, ready to come on. He looks scared. He looks scared. And
yeah, probably because he performs well at Europa League level, and then he finally gets an 8-minute chance to prove himself.
I can't believe that Willian has stolen another 82 minutes from Arsenal Football Club.
22 minutes.
Oh, man, I would love it. It was only 22 minutes. He needs to prove himself. And I just look at young, hungry players that are knocking around at the club, and the fact that they're not getting an opportunity.
Could it be Arteta trying to justify his signing?
Probably. Is it working? No. So you need to make some changes, pal. You need to do something about it because
I'm quite curious about Nketiah because as a neutral watching Arsenal games, preferably Europa League, he does look a good player. Just give him more opportunity.
see, he needs a lot of opportunities in order to get something out of it. I mean, like Burnley currently are 1-7 to finish off this game. It's a sad state of affairs at the arse. It has gone
Considering
down as the
Burnley,
Bamiyang own goal.
Burnley are
Hilarious.
currently Fulham drew against Liverpool. Well and easily could have got all 3 points. Not looking good for Sheffield United now.
Yeah, luckily there's 3 worse teams in the Premier League than Arsenal. Is that what you're trying to say?
Exactly. I mean, you'll finish above Sheffield. I can say that convincingly.
Yeah, I fancy that as well. I'll tell you what, 19th looks. I reckon we'll be all right because Fulham have actually played some really good football.
Yeah, Fulham would beat you today. Fact.
Oh yeah.
But the problem is when you played, I can't see you beating Everton. You're absolutely right. Richarlison and Calvert-Lewin. I mean, they've just held off a Chelsea side, which at the start of the.
See, look at that. Look at that there. Maitland-Niles has only just come on the pitch. Really, he's been on the pitch 10 minutes. Leno's come out, he's headed the ball out, and instead of like trying to win the ball, he's just slowed himself down and allowed himself to watch the ball go out of play. That is sickening.
But these players don't have the belief that they can get something from this.
Oh my God. Hospital ball across the box. Look, that's what I mean. And the manager, honestly, tells you nothing. When he comes in, he's like, I want to see Arsenal play with intensity. I want to see a high press, rah, rah. Have you seen Arsenal play with a high press or intensity since he's taken over?
No.
So where is it then? Was it just a bit of chat to try and make the Arsenal fans happy?
It must have been tactics when it first turned up.
Yeah, and we're still failing to win games. Arsenal beat Man United on New Year's Day, and I always resort to this because I always look at the difference between what happened to Arsenal and what happened to Man United on New Year's Day 2020. Arsenal were brilliant, absolutely brilliant for 60 minutes of that, but they're already 2-0 up anyway, and they sat back and allowed Man United to do their thing. Game finished 2-0, and Man United somehow, find it within themselves to go on and, do something. They've gone on and done something special. Here's Saka, edge of the box, shot. Oh, God. That's a great clearance from, who's that? Tarkowski. He's been man of the match for me today. James Tarkowski has been...
He's too good of a defender to be at Burnley. I think he's stayed...
Way too good to be at Burnley. I think a Leicester is where he should be right now.
It's just certainly an area Brendan Rodgers could look at with Soyuncu being out.
I could see him and Soyuncu doing the job. That'd be brilliant.
They did very well when losing Harry Maguire, especially for the money they got for him.
Yeah, because Maguire, let's be honest, he was decent at Leicester. I think he's pretty decent at Man United as well. I think he's been decent at Man United as well. I think he gets a lot of slack. Every time Arsenal lose, I go to watch Arsenal channel on YouTube. Oh, here we go. Oh, and Nketiah, unlucky.
I understand what you
believe it's more funny than watching Dave Chappelle and Chris Rock. Wow, that's deep. That cut me hard there, dudes, man. Woo! That's savage, man. That is savage. But I get it completely. Oh God. And Arsenal, let's look at that again. No leaders, no fight, bad management, bad CEOs, everything's wrong. I can see our first relegation. Wow.
I wouldn't go that far. I remember when Chelsea were tipped to get relegated, they still finished 10. Okay, Hughes didn't come in.
Yeah, but what do? They changed the managers halfway through and they sorted it out. Oh,
yeah,
God.
finished 10th. So.
Yeah, I'll take 10th right now. How bad is that?
The one who won the Champions League? Was it Di Matteo?
No, it was Mourinho.
Oh no, it was Mourinho. You're right. Yeah, because
it was Mourinho. It was in his 3rd season where he always makes things go wrong.
Yeah, because Q didn't come in. I remember that, and I remember when he came in, I was like, "Oh, I forgot about you."
Yeah. Oh God. Goose Hiddink is always the guy. It's like things are going wrong. Let's sort of season out.
I used to always
Goose,
think Goose Hiddink
how's it
was like
going?
a wish.com version of Angelotti.
Oh God. It's a good header though, isn't it? Look, you see what I mean? Right, from Arteta though, body language straight away. He looks like what all the players do at Arsenal. Like the ball's gone in, it's like, oh, and all the Arsenal players are all like, ooh, walk off. No one is there that says, "Come on, what are you doing?" Huh?
I'm not talking about substitutions, but can you tell me a tactical change he's made to get the win in this game?
No.
Exactly. He doesn't know. He goes,
No,
I'll
he
put
doesn't
this.
know.
Play the same system, but now you're playing.
Yeah, exactly, and it's one of those square pegs round hole situations again. It's been happening for ages at Arsenal. It's just, why don't you play players that are in their natural positions? Pick a formation that you like. Frankly, let's pick a formation that you like, and let's play people in their position that they play best. And if you do that, you might be onto something. It might be a start. But here we go. There's a minute left.
I honestly didn't think you'd lose today. I really didn't. I thought you'd get a draw, but I did not think again you'd lose.
No, I expected Burnley to win 1-0, or I expected a draw, and that draw being 1-1. I couldn't see us keeping a clean sheet, and it looks like it could be 2 here. Vidra
should be.
His shot is charged down, and it's an easy pickup for Leno. I reckon 6 minutes. Substitutions, the goal, 2 VARs, red card. You know, so
I'll say you're going to get
5.
Yeah, well, I'm the best.
I'm the best.
I do that all the
time. Get your badge and stress you do a worse job than this, mate. I don't think anyone could do a worse job. My daughter's 8 weeks old. I fancy her doing a lot better job than what's going on right now. She can scream and shout when she needs to already. Swear to you. Swear to you. And no to those. I don't know how you block those. Can't block those. You can only see them on Twitch. Right, so what have we got here? What's he giving?
Free kick to Arsenal.
I think so.
What's he moaning about? What's he running down?
Oh, I don't know. Oh, it was a free kick, and his vanishing spray fell off. His little clip fell off. If Arsenal steal a draw from this, we're going to go on and win the league. Don't worry where we're going to be in the league right now. Here we go. Oh, God. Oh, here we go. Look, yeah, I'll tell you what. Take as much time as you want there, pal. Still 3-0 in the Leicester game. It looks like that's going to be it. Jackie Afriandi says Arteta out. Who do you want in then? Who do you want in? That's my question right now.
That's
Arteta
not
out. Great.
Though.
No. I agree 100% with you, by the way. But it's Arteta out. Brilliant. Who do you want in? And let's be honest, you know, it's not like yeah, I'll tell you what, let's do it. Here comes Robbie Brady. Arsenal have always, I think Arsenal have only got 1 point. No, I don't think they got a point. I think they lost every game at 7:15 on the Sunday as well.
Is this a 4th consecutive loss at home?
Yes.
Because if that's true, that is a horrendous stat.
Well, I'm not being funny. Lucien Favre lost it at like 6 defeats in 10.
Yeah, but 4 from home, man.
Oh, no, wrong one. Here we go.
Not even a point.
I was enjoying your time, but it's time to go to the Championship. Nah. Arsenal finished 17th this season. No chance of going down this season. They'll finish 17th.
If you sack Arteta, you should get Chris Wilder in.
Bunce. Well, look, I can't wait to play 3-5-2 every week.
Ooh, I was about to say, did I speak too soon? If I was Arsenal, I'd just try to kick it.
It's not a head injury. It's not a head injury. Play on. That was the chance there. Weak header. Take your time, son. Right, I'm really angry that I've sat here and
every Arsenal game we do ends up in tatters. Have you noticed that?
I know, we're going to stop doing Arsenal watch-alongs, I tell you.
The only one we've done, which has probably got a worse record, is England.
I know. It's literally, but Arsenal keep kicking off at 7:15. It's like it just keeps happening as well, so just can't shy away from it. It is what it is. It is what it is. Always hard work being an Arsenal fan, but like Arsenal also.
Oh no, he's just covering his eyes.
No, can't. Yeah, I don't want to be spotted here. I don't blame him. I wouldn't want to be spotted there either today.
That's why.
I know, and it would have cost like 70 quid or whatever it is. Nah, to be honest, I think this game was 34 quid, which ain't bad for Arsenal. Hi, dear, oh dear, oh dear.
As a mate, Gav, I feel sorry for you, pal.
I don't feel sorry for me, so you shouldn't feel sorry for me either, if I'm honest. You know, I've got my family, got house.
Who are you trying to convince? Me or yourself? Like...
I don't know. Generally just trying to make myself feel better for the fucking monstrosity that I'm seeing right now. This Christ alive. Oh dear.
Wow, right. Win for Burnley if they get this though.
Oh, great win for Burnley. It's a corner. Right. If I'm Bernd Leno, I'm coming up for this. But I'm not Bernd Leno. So I'm just watching it for a moment, sorting the graphics out. Oh, yes, Bernd. Go on, big Bernd. Banter when Bernd Leno scores overhead kick. It's top bin. Fucking hell.
What, the Ronaldo against Juventus one?
Yeah, that. Oh, cleared off the line.
That was it then.
No, Tierney. You're left-footed, mate. Tierney is left-footed. He could have just turned on that and
oh my lord.
That's game over.
Game over now.
That's game over. And rightfully so.
Cotton is here just on time.
Oh, look at that. Look at that.
Oh,
all right, Steve.
Wow.
Well, I'm gonna nip off for literally 2 minutes, and then we're gonna start the show, start the review. So, Cotton, you can have a little chat with Ed about that, and then we'll chat about it in a couple of seconds.
Please. So basically, I watched the first half of I watched Leicester.
Can we just sort this out? See what's wrong here.
What's wrong? Oh, there we go. Yeah. I watched the first half of Leicester because it was on the Fire. It was on Prime, so I watched it on the Fire Stick. Had a bit of a vested investment in it as well. Nice. The Bet365 2-0 early payout, so beautiful. Then I instantly switched over and had to go watch the game when the commentator on the Leicester game said, Granit Xhaka has been sent off for Arsenal. I was like, get me in. Get me involved. I'm assuming you spoke about it and we'll speak about it on the show. Yeah. Just briefly between you and me, how is shoving someone in the face with both your hands a yellow card but not a penalty?
Okay, so I think the reason it wasn't a penalty is because there was no play going on. I think if a ball was delivered into the box, you could have given a penalty there, but it happened before a kick had been made. So
I don't know about that.
For example, say it was a goal kick. On the other end of the pitch, and then in the other box, I punched someone in the face when the ball's out of play. They don't get a penalty.
Yeah, I suppose, but it was a corner in there. Do you know what I mean? They did have a corner. Yeah. I don't know. It's either way.
We were like, oh my god, it's a penalty. But then we realised that.
I'm still confused how it was only a yellow. But then again, it didn't matter because literally 30 seconds. Well, not even 30 seconds. Corner came in. Aubameyang finally scoring at the Emirates.
weird Sunday. I tell you what, it's been a weird. I don't think anyone could have predicted all the results for this season. For this,
No, I'll tell you who did me in this weekend a couple of times. It was Tottenham and Liverpool did me in. That was it. Tottenham and Liverpool did me in.
Yeah, no surprise there, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and while it was 0-0 in this game, PSG are losing 1-0. So I put on a cheeky little double of Burnley or Arsenal to win the game, and PSG to win or draw from 1-0 down.
Wow.
Oh, I'm so hyped. What is it? Did Leicester finish 3-0? Because obviously I turned it over.
What are you so hyped for?
It's just been a great weekend of just nonsense to talk about.
Oh yeah, I hear you.
Because obviously I've been working and stuff, so I had to watch highlights and clips today when I got in. Honestly, there's some stuff that obviously I didn't see from yesterday today, and I just need to talk to people about it. Like, I just need opinions. But we won't.
DT's not. Just gone on to Arsenal Fan TV. DT isn't even there. His seat's empty. Can't wait to watch that later.
My tweet literally 15 minutes ago was someone check on DT. Like, I want to see some more stamping. I want to see some more crying.
It's awful because I hate fans who do that, but I'm addicted to Arsenal Fan TV, like hippie crack. Like, I'm like, oh, it's like watching Benefit Street. I'm like, I can't get enough of it.
This is it. It's going to do exactly what they want it to do because they're going to get all their views tonight and everything. Because I just want to see I just want to see the chaos.
Oh yeah, because the live watch along, I always try to find when the goal went in.
Oh, right. Twitter will be the one for that. Let's have a look. I'm surprised he's not trending. You know. Oh,
he usually is. But...
No, he's not. Oh, that's a shame. I thought he was. It was someone else. Is it actually his? Oh yeah, that is his. Yeah.
Oh, look at his tie as well. He's obviously been so autistic, bless him.
Oh my God! Hold on. Is this when the goal goes in? I found it. I think.
See? Can I dash this chair, please?
He literally stands up and he goes, "Can I dash this chair? Please let me dash this chair."
I'm handing in my transfer request in January, confirmed, bro. Confirmed, bro.
Do you know what? Yeah, it's actually quite sad because it's even beaten. He's just literally sat there with his head in his hands, holding the back of his head. Like, even he can't be angry anymore. Like, he's just done. And then it cuts to Robin. It looks like a scene from Tracy Beaker. Like, everyone's just so depressed.
What minute did they score? What minute did they score in?
77.
Oh, 77. So 7.
Have you got a Twitter account, Ed? That sounds like a stupid question.
No, I just use I don't, but I use
okay.
I'll just go on their page and just go to the minute it was on.
Well, relegation scrap on their hands then, by the looks of it.
Yeah, we had a long conversation about Arteta. Well, I say a long it was probably 90 minutes talking about Arteta and Drew. It's an interesting one, isn't it?
Yeah.
And Gavs did say the media is not picking up on Burnley.
Yeah, they're not.
Not Burnley, Arsenal as much as.
No, they're not all. They're not all, man. No way. No one has once come out and said, "Oh, is the job a bit big for him?" Like, because obviously everyone looks at certain managers and their first thing to say is, well, he's only managed smaller clubs or he's only this, that and the other. This geezer has done a season or two.
He hasn't done his prep.
Yeah. He did a season or two under Pep as an assistant. Like, he wasn't ready for this either, but no one's saying a word. Here he is.
How do you, Gav?
Probably for the best.
I'm here. I'm happy to do my thing. So everyone who's watching right now, it is time for the Premier League review show. Woo!
Get me.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Premier League review show with myself, Gav Mag, Ed Hall, and Stephen Cotton. How are you, gentlemen?
He's up.
I'm wonderful. There's so much to talk about, and I'm so ready to just let's go. Let's have it.
Everyone get
Hey,
gassed
lads.
off that intro now, because there was a time when I didn't bat an eyelid about it, but now I've kind of just like feels part of me.
Yeah.
I'm like,
If
I
you
literally
guys
feel it.
if you guys could see the behind the scenes thing that we have at the bottom here, when you see people off camera and stuff, when the video is playing, all you see is all three of us like.
So you can follow us on all social media at Top Football, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, and if you put Two Up Top into Google, our name comes up first. How wonderful is that? I still buzz off the fact that happens. It's brilliant stuff. But anyway, let's be honest. We need to talk about football, don't we? And why don't we start with the game that kicked off at 7:15, and that was Leicester versus Brighton. This was
there, Gab.
I need a moment. That's what it is. I was dual screening this game.
Yeah, I'll watch this.
It was the Arsenal on the main screen. Don't know why. And then it was the Leicester game via Amazon Prime on the iPad, and it was just Leicester domination the whole game. They just looked in full control the whole game. Leicester won 3-0. Maddison got a brace, and Jamie Vardy scored just before half time. Cotton, you said you were watching this game.
Yeah, like you said, Leicester just all over it. Brighton just didn't have any answer to anything that came at them. Brendan Rodgers, halfway through the half, switched your man. Is it James Justin? He switched him from left to right to go up against their slower right back, and that was it. That was the game changer. It was just completely Leicester dominance, like you said. The Vardy, who scored the first goal? It was Vardy scored the first.
Madison. It was a cross from it was a cross from James Justin, and it was cleared away, and I literally took it away. And then I was like, I'm just going to watch the rest of the Arsenal game. And I turn around and I see Maddison wheeling off in celebration. It's like, oh, mate.
Yeah, Matt Ryan could have done a lot more. The second goal, so beautifully worked. Honestly, you could see the play 3 steps ahead. Like you saw that the pass over was on, then the ball in behind, then the cross into Vardy was just perfect. But I mean, I didn't really see much of the second half. But the highlight of this game, the Maddison goal on the 44th minute.
Yeah, Maddison's goal is beautiful, man.
Gets the ball inside the box. He's jinking, he's turning, like cuts back in onside himself like a couple of times, takes it around 1 or 2 players, and then just shifts it from his right foot to his left foot, bends it top corner. Like it's one of those when it hits the side netting, it curls round the side netting into the top corner.
That's
Absolutely
the Maddison
beautiful.
that we want to see, though, isn't it?
It is.
Where's that Maddison been all season? He's not been that player anymore. Because like there was always the conversation of like when England play, if we are going to play like a man in behind Kane, who do we want to see? Do we want to see Vardy? Not Vardy, sorry. Do you want to see Maddison? Do you want to see Grealish there? Do you want to see Mount, Foden? He's not been part of that conversation much this season. Is it an attitude thing, or is it just lack of form? Because he's not been injured.
He had a similar problem last year, didn't he? Because I thought last year he had a good first half to the season, and then he kind of just dwindled out. I know he got injured towards the very end, but he was out of form as well, though. Go on.
No, so I'm just gonna say, I hate to be like we hate it when all the youth players get like tarred with the same brush, and it's like, they're whatever. But he is one of those players. He is always getting caught drinking with Grealish, and he is always he's a bit of a party boy, Maddison. So I don't know whether that plays into it a little bit or not. I don't know. But like you said, there must be a reason for his form to decline so rapidly and so heavily. But he had a really good game today. He completely controlled the midfield.
Go on, do it.
Do what?
Just do it.
Go to the next game.
Go to the next game.
Manchester United 0, Manchester City 0. Oh, okay, now.
Oh, nice try. I think we've got an intro for this one, don't we?
No,
next week.
We might. Yeah. As of next week, I'm sure we're gonna have to have it. Hey, look, Arsenal finally got Aubameyang scoring goals. So look, there are positives from this game. Yes. Arsenal 0, Burnley 1. It's the first time that Burnley have taken the lead against Arsenal in the Premier League era, let alone got a victory. And we did this for our watch along. Myself and Ed, Cotton couldn't wait until the final whistle to hop in right at the end of the old watcher. And just before the
down here dancing,
he was there. From an Arsenal point of view, there. We mentioned it during the watch along, but I'm feeling that there has got to be something happening behind the scenes. The players do not want to play for Arteta whatsoever. Personnel wise, I don't think Arsenal have got that much of an issue. I think player wise, they're fine. You know, they are a minimum top 6 side, and you can argue that they are creeping towards a top 4 position. But on the pitch, there's just nothing happening, and there needs to be an inquest as to what is happening at Arsenal right now. Ed, you watched the game with me.
Yeah, that was a very boring 90 minutes of football. I don't think Burnley even played particularly well, but they didn't need to. Burnley was more than happy with a point there. The only reason they got a foothold in the game is because you went down to 10 men. You are very lackluster. I feel like it's just, we don't know what to do with the ball. We'll whip a ball in, but who are you whipping a ball into? It's not like you've got, no disrespect, so it's not like you've got like a Ben Teke in there or an Andy Carroll. I don't know if they're great examples, but they are.
They're brutes in the box, aren't they? I mean, like, there was a stat that came up in the first half that said that Arsenal put 10 crosses into the box. But what were they? Who are they aiming for?
That's it. I mean, be on the way up. I mean, they want to improve on last season. You've lost 4 home games in a row. 4.
Lucien Favre lost his job for less.
It's enough. Like, that is crazy for Arsenal. Not even just dropped points. They've just got beaten 4 times at home.
Yeah.
Do you know what as well? Like in like response to this game, Mikel Arteta has just been tactically outclassed by Sean Dyche.
Now, I want to ask you a question on this, and it came up earlier on today from an Arsenal fan. Should Arsenal look at someone like a Sean Dyche to take over, and would he be able to improve Arsenal?
I don't know if you want a Sean Dyche type. I don't think your squad is rugged enough. Like, you've got players like Tierney that think they can scrap, but if it actually came to it, it'd get slapped out. Yeah. I don't think you want someone boisterous. I think you do need someone adventurous that wants to play nice football. Like you said, you've got the players. Someone like Hasenhüttl, someone decent that wants to go play expansive football.
Yeah, Ed mentioned Nagelsmann.
Yeah, exactly. No, exactly that. Like you said, right? I honestly don't think there's any excuse for the players you've got to be where you are. And this is the thing. Like, we always say this about like Newcastle fans, but Arsenal fans have a reason sort of to have this about them. But Arsenal fans still think it is a big club, but they still go on like it's 1999 and it's Vieira versus Keane every week. So on 1 week they're bigging up like Aubameyang's best striker in the Prem, and Saka's the best young prospect in the league. Okay, so if that's the case, how come week in, week out these players aren't performing? They're not doing anything. Like, it can't be both sides of the coin.
I mentioned something a couple of weeks ago, and we were talking about Man United in the Champions League and why they can't. I know Man United have now been promoted into the best European trophy competition in Europe. But after the first 3-4 games in the Champions League, the way that Man United were playing was brilliant. They was looking expansive. They looked comfortable. They looked fluid. They looked confident. Why can't they install that sort of mentality into the Premier League? Why is there such a difference in the Premier League to the Champions League? And I remember that we all of us having a conversation saying it was a different type of opposition. No, ignore the opposition. It's the players on the pitch. How like, when they're in possession of the ball, look how freely they're passing the ball around. Arsenal are doing that at Europa League, and once again, yes, the quality of Dundalk. You know, who cares about Dundalk? However, it's the confidence when the ball is at feet, when they've got the ball in like just in front of the back four, and they're looking around thinking, right, okay, who's here? And there's players making runs and moves and doing everything they want. Why is the main team, like the first team of Arsenal, not putting that performance and that level in the Premier League?
Because they don't want to play the style of football. I think that can only be it. Like, you've got the problem that, like, we have a similar problem where your strikers, Lacazette and Aubameyang, also get utilised too much as wide men. They go out wide because they have to go out and pick the ball up, and then they stick a cross in. Who's in the box to get the cross? No one, because it's where they should be on the end of a cross, but they're having to do their own
There was
work.
one in particular. That was one in particular that happened like that, where Aubameyang found himself out wide and he's crossed it in for Tierney, and Tierney's on the penalty spot and he's having a swivel shot with his right peg. That should be Tierney putting that ball in for Aubameyang, not the other way round. Just quick for the Blue Boys Network. Quick one. Going back to deadline day, how many Everton players in the combined Everton Arsenal team? Hey, look, man for man, I still stick man for man. Man for man, I'll stick very, very similar to the team that I picked before. The Arsenal players are not performing at the moment. It's not the level of clientele. I think the level of clientele is there. I don't feel that they've got the right manager in place. But let's not take anything away from Burnley here. Burnley turned up. They had a game plan. It worked, and they're walking home with 3 points.
Is that to be credited? Because I could give you my game plan when coming against Arsenal right now, because I know exactly what you're going to do, because you do the same thing all the time. I said to you, Gav, what changes I'd said to actually make it? He's changing the personnel, but what changes? He goes, well, you're now playing in his position. Your game plan's exactly the same.
Yeah.
No one comes on and does anything different. So Burnley, every manager's going to come to the Emirates with the same game plan. So as much as I'm glad Burnley did it, it's not to be credited.
We've had this discussion before, Gav, like every year, countless times, no matter who the manager is, whether we're talking about United, whether we're talking about Mourinho, Van Gaal, or whatever. I can't stand static managers, right, that have, this is our formation, this is our system, this is how we play. It doesn't matter if we're coming up against a 4-4-2, a 3-5-2, a 5-4-7-8-9. We're going to play this way when we're not going to adapt to their style. And if you don't adapt to other people's styles,
bad manager.
This is what happens.
Yeah, and this is the Arsenal. Arsenal have been doing this for a couple of years now. They did it in the end of the Wenger period. They did it during Emery. They did it in the short time of Ljungberg, and they're doing it right now. Arsenal have a set way of playing, and they couldn't give two hoots about who they're playing against. And that, as you both alluded to, is poor management.
Mm-hmm.
Quick question for you, just moving away from the management thing. Jack is red all day, stupid.
Yeah, red. He's put his arm around. Like when he saw it first time, I was like, oh, that's a bit silly, isn't it? Well, they're both going to get a yellow card here for handbags. But then you look at the replay. He's put his hand around his frigging neck, man. Yeah. What's he playing at? So there's no Arteta. There's no Xhaka for the next game.
No,
Pepe's coming back, which is wonderful. And there's no Bellerin, because Bellerin picked up his 5th yellow card of the season. Now
you'll win the next game.
Yeah.
Southampton.
The Xhaka one, but what about the El Neni one? Because I'm very, 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 very shocked that they looked at that replay on VAR and decided to give a yellow for that. I'm really shocked.
I don't understand why they've given a yellow card. If you go into VAR, it's a red card or nothing. How many times have I said that's not what they do on VAR, and they've just gone against their own rules, their own ruling on it?
Does the Premier League have a different rule? Because you know what we're like.
Probably.
Well, they make it up as they go along.
They change it.
So, are Arsenal going to survive relegation this season?
You'll survive relegation, but I don't expect
17th
to break into Europa.
In all seriousness, just before we move on, like, Gav, honestly, like, it's a write-off. Like, what would you want to see from Arsenal this season now? Like, where do you want to finish? Where would you be at? What's your aspirations now?
I'll turn around to Ed. I said 10th. I'll be happy with 10th right now. How sad is that?
But
no, from where we are right now, from where Arsenal are right now, if you said to me, you can have 10th, right now, I'd have to take it.
But the problem is for you, you've picked a season where there's 10, 15 teams that decided to play well and go for the title. And you've picked a really bad season to be very bad.
I know.
Because you've got to fight the likes of Southampton, Leicester. There's teams in there and around the
Villa
top
are
10.
doing bits.
Burnley are 4 points behind you now. Fulham have got 8 points now, I believe.
I know.
Yeah.
They're only 5 points behind.
But
Fulham are 5 points behind
Everton
us.
next, and Brighton have West Brom.
Yeah.
Brighton have Fulham. So,
yeah, mad stuff. Let's talk about Fulham because I feel they were very unlucky today. Very, very unlucky. They had a number of opportunities today. It was Fulham 1, Liverpool 1, and it was Fulham who actually took the lead. And before they took the lead, they should have had a penalty, Cotton.
Mate, I'm honestly fuming. Like I said, I didn't see stuff until today. I tried to keep. I didn't want to see anything on Twitter or anything to cloud my judgment before I saw it for myself. And I watched it. I saw it in full speed. I saw Fabinho wipe him out, doesn't touch the ball, goes through his foot. They VAR'd it, and I was like, all right, cool. And then I saw them taking the corner, and I was like, what?
What?
Like, I honestly thought I was tripping. I was like, there's no way. I was like, Ed, do you think it's a penalty?
I said to Gav, when I see it in regular speed, I thought it was a penalty. When they kept showing the replays, it depends which replay you showed me. It was like flipping a coin. But they went over it so long, and kept replaying it, and I was like, well, then it's clearly not clear and obvious.
I felt the replays that they were showing for VAR were a little bit, And then when you look at it at half time, when they've got it in the studio, they show me 2 replays, very quick succession, one from the right-hand touchline, and then one from sort of like the near post. And from the right-hand touchline, I'm thinking, looks like a pen. Not quite sure though. And they show me it on the near the near post angle, and he's taking him out, man. Yeah, that's his standing leg. It's a penalty all day. I've seen VAR turn over worse decisions than that.
Yeah, I was honestly speechless, man. I honestly couldn't believe it. And to be fair, look at Fabinho's facial expressions when it's not given.
He had a really bad game, bless him. So I wouldn't give him too much stick because I think he's been nothing short of brilliant filling in centre back. But that was
you have to remember there's not a
game where I remembered he was a midfielder.
He,
from minute one, every decision he made was bad. And Matip wasn't much support either. Fulham played well. I'll be honest with you. Liverpool, I said to Gav prior to the Arsenal watch-along that I think for the first time under Klopp's tenure, I'm starting to see complacency drop into Liverpool. Whereas if we were playing Tottenham, a different team would have come out today. It was like we was expected to steamroll 3-1 or something like that, and then focus on Anfield midweek.
We said this after the restart, though, didn't we? Like, as soon as Liverpool, it was like mathematically, well, not mathematically, but as soon as it was like no one's catching them, it was just foot off the gas, weren't it? And it was.
Yeah, they haven't picked up since then. I don't care what anyone says. I don't think Liverpool have looked that convincing since they won the title. And to be honest, there was a lot of games last season where I didn't think that Liverpool looked that convincing. They just went out there, did what they needed to do. And this is not a dig at Liverpool because they deserved to win the title last year. And let's be real, I feel that they deserved to win the title the season before that as well. But there's lots of games where they're just like they're just mad chill.
That was the difference. That was the difference between the years when they didn't win the league and the years when they actually won the league, is because they were actually grinding out those results, like those 1-0s against Burnley, those 2-1s against Palace or whoever. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Now this year, like you said, with the complacency, like there is games when I'm just like, I don't know if I could see him getting a point or whatever. But they did today with the penalty.
Bobby de Cordova-Reid, he scored the opener. Lovely strike.
It was a beautiful, crisp finish.
I thought he might have been offside when I first saw it, but then he was a mile onside. It's how Robertson's playing him on. Trent.
And then the penalty. It came from a penalty. Mo Salah scored it in the end. It was funny because it was a free kick to Liverpool on about 25 yards out, and Gini Wijnaldum
Curtis
tried
Jones
to take
got
it.
fouled.
Curtis Jones got fouled, and Gini Wijnaldum was taking the free kick. Now, just as soon as the free kick was given, obviously Fulham were leading 1-0. I was like, right, here goes some money on Liverpool, double chance here. And as soon as it hit the wall, I knew it was going to be a pen. Now, there's even Liverpool fans in the WhatsApp group that I'm in, that is laden with Liverpool fans, they were like, "Oh, that's a bit harsh, that pen." What are you saying, James?
I said it was harsh.
But the
Do you
problem
think it's harsh
is,
as well?
you'd be livid if it was given against you, because your argument would be, well, he's jumping. Where do you want him to go? They're in a wall, but his arm is up and it struck his arm.
That is. It's probably one of the most stonewall pens for me. I don't see any reason why I wouldn't be aggrieved by that, because you're 10 yards away. You have enough time to react. Your body, your shape, everything. You know that you are told, it's drilled in. Referees go to grounds, or a representative from the referee fraternity will go to clubs beginning of each season and give you directives as to what is going to be a foul, what is going to be deemed as a pen, and what isn't. That is a penalty. If you are told that if you raise your arm or put it in a natural position in the wall, whether you're protecting your face or doing whatever, if it hits your arm, we are going to give a penalty. So there can be no complaints whatsoever for that penalty there today. None whatsoever.
Before we move on to the next game,
yes,
obviously they're doing the post-match talk on Sky Sports and stuff. Patrice Evra has just said this. Thierry Henry one day invited me to his house. He said, we're going to watch the Arsenal match. The first image we saw was Xhaka being the captain. Henry turned off the TV and said, I can't watch him be captain of my team.
Evra just said that on Sky Sports.
Just said it on Sky Sports.
Evra loves throwing people under the bus, man. He throws a lot of people under the bus.
I can't stand Evra as a pundit. It's like, do you know what you're doing, or are you just fake? Like,
he knows what he's doing.
Fantastic player, but it's like, whoa.
He knows. It took me a while to appreciate him properly. Right, Crystal Palace 1. Tottenham Hotspur 1. Now, Tottenham, I don't think they were expecting Liverpool to drop points here, so they would have been really, really wound up when they shipped the goal to the end. So yeah, they were like, oh man, we've missed a trick here by not winning today. That's what I'd have felt, and the fact that Fulham were able to get a point, I think they're going to be loving life. Absolutely loving life today.
Tottenham's only saving grace is that literally nobody else around them wanted to pick up points today, other than say Leicester and Southampton. But everyone else drew, didn't they? So I think it is a missed opportunity, but at the same time, it could have been a lot worse had other teams won as well. So
definitely, goals came from Harry Kane and from Jeff Schlupp. Harry Kane's goal, Guaita is getting a lot of stick.
It moves, but it doesn't move enough for me.
Ed?
Are we on about blaming the goalkeeper?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he did poor, but that was his only poor moment in the whole game.
Just take it out of context from the game. Don't worry, we'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah.
But,
no, it was shocking. There's no way. He deserves all the stick for that.
Gav, if you're gonna defend him, I'm gonna be upset because
I do defend him a lot, because you know what?
He's like 40 yards out. He had so much time to set himself.
He's got so much time. I agree with that, but look at the conditions. Look how wet it was. That ball has moved. Like that ball, just as it gets to the 18-yard box, moves. It bounces just before him on that surface. Man, come on! I think we're being way too harsh on Guaita there, man.
That penalty,
man.
You've got no sympathy for that penalty, but for this 40-yard banana,
yeah, exactly. You just said it, a banana. The fact that it's a banana, that ball's going dead straight until it gets to the 18-yard box. Until it gets to the 18-yard box, then it diverts and bounces literally inches before it gets to Guaita. If that stays at the same level, Guaita's got that.
No, not having it.
That bounces and skids. You know. I feel for Guaita there. Good strike. Good strike.
He very much redeemed himself during this game with
a lot.
If we were going to do a save of the month's competition, like he's
all of them are from him.
Yeah, he's in this month.
What's your favourite one though? Because mine's the Eric Dyer free kick.
Mine's not for one reason. But
no, mine's not either. It's the one, the bit of the goal line scramble. You know, there's three saves in one. The third save in that.
The only reason that Eric Dyer one's not the one for me is just because it's if it was a little bit more in the top corner and he pulls that save off, I'm nutting. But I think it was just a little bit in the middle of the goal when it actually finally got to him. But it's still like the speed he got over there is nuts. Yeah. Such a good save.
It's impressive. Guy definitely made up for it.
I believe it was Eric Dyer who took it.
Well, he scored a free kick for England, didn't he? Once.
Yeah, it was against. Was it Wales?
Does that mean anything?
I can't remember. But Jeff Schlupp, he got the equaliser. Can we talk about Hugo Lloris for a moment?
Yeah, I've never liked him.
I did like him, but I think over the last 2-3 seasons, he is Mr. Complacent. I'll tell you who he reminds me of. He reminds me of Wojciech Szczesny just before he left Arsenal. Because beforehand. No, because he didn't get good. That's the worst thing about it. What he would do is he would get Mr. Complacent. He would do things like where, like when you see, that the ball's going to go past you, and goalkeepers will still try and make a save even though they're not going to get there. And it's like, oh man, well at least keep making an effort to try and get there. Szczesny never used to do that, and I love that. It's like he knows he's not going to get there. He's not going to make a tit out of himself by trying to dive for something which is going at 100 miles an hour that he can't get to. So I used to like that about him. But then he started doing it so often where if he just stuck an arm out, he could stand still, stick an arm out, he probably would have got there. And they're the sort of things that for me, Hugo Lloris does. I think he's a fantastic leader, but you're a goalkeeper, mate. You've got to stop the ball from going in the back of the net. And I don't think he is. I think Spurs should be looking at someone like Nick Pope.
Ooh.
I think if Spurs don't win the title this year, go for Nick Pope and another centre half, and you've got all the minerals to win the title the following season. Oh my God, yeah! Go do it! Go do a double! Go do a double! Chicken Robber, I don't know what team you support. Who should be made top priority in January? Gareth Southgate. Arsenal. I'll tell you what, I wouldn't even take Phil Neville right now. Swear to you. Absolutely swear to you. Got new viewers as well, which is lovely. How are things going? I found you at top Twitch channel. Thank you very, very much. Really appreciate it. And please subscribe to the channel and stuff, and we'll do the same for you as well. We love that. Right then, where should we go next? Oh well, we're going in sort of like in
reverse. Go back in time.
Yeah. Reverse. So why don't we?
Terry.
Let's talk about Chrissy Wilder and what's going on there, because it's not great. It's not great for Sheffield United. Things are bad at Arsenal, but it's bad at Sheffield United, man. But Southampton, they're living life, third in the table, going into like the heart of December, and they've got Arsenal next, so it's a guaranteed 3 points for them as well. It's lovely. Southampton 3, Sheffield United 0. Goals from Shea Adam, Stuart Armstrong, and a returning Nathan Redmond, who is so young.
It doesn't look like it. Do you know what, honestly, like just the body language from when the first goal went in, Sheffield United were appealing for handball, but it's come off the top of his shoulder, like the top, pretty much there, like he's near his neck more than anything. And there was a few appeals just because they were trying to get the goal chalked off, but heads dropped instantly. Like literally, they already knew it's another game. You're already being outplayed, and it just looked like the confidence that was in that team that got them to the heights it did last season in the Prem has long since gone. There is not an ounce of it left. There's nothing left in that team. 2
players that are missing: Jack O'Connell and Dean Henderson.
Yep.
Those 2 players are there. Sheffield United are in a completely different shape because they were never scoring goals beforehand anyway. We knew this. But they're still shipping goals at the moment. And those 2 are key to what was happening.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. Do you know what? I don't even know if Dean was there or whatnot. I don't even know if that's enough. Honestly, they look bereft of confidence, ideas. They don't look to be changing any. Like we were saying about adaptability, Wilder is very much the same. He's very stubborn. Like he likes to play his football, and that's pretty much it. And when it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And they really got punished against Southampton. It could have been way more than 3-0. Yeah. I mean, the Nathan Redmond goal, right, literally sums it up. The geezer literally pretty much waltzes into the box. There was one challenge made on him that was like a really half-hearted nudge from the back or whatever. Even an attempt to foul him was pretty
enough.
lackluster, and they just summed it up. Like he just walked through, no one really gave a care in the world, and he just slotted it in, and that's pretty much it. Sheffield United, I reckon they're going to break Derby's record.
Oh, do you know what? I went for lunch earlier on today. I was watching this game out for lunch, and my pal said exactly the same. Exactly the same. I can't see where Sheffield United's only point this season came against Fulham, and I actually feel sorry for Fulham that day.
Yeesh. Yeah,
Says a lot, doesn't it?
They're in some serious trouble. And we've said it the other week. We said it the week before, whatnot. They'd be silly to get rid of Wilder because he's definitely the kind of man that will rebuild them in the Championship. So, listen, I think they're pretty much resigned to the fact that it is what it is now. So they don't need to do anything silly or knee-jerk. I don't think any manager comes in right now and pulls that Sheffield United team out of the depths. So
what about Arteta? Do you reckon he could do a job there?
He's almost doing a job there, mate. He's almost doing a job there.
He'll be competing against Sheffield next year in the Championship.
I know, man. Honestly, who's going to come up? Who's going to come up for the Championship next season? Arsenal or Sheffield United? Put your votes in.
You're doing a Sunderland, mate. You are. You're going straight to.
No, we ain't going straight down.
After League One, you go. Okay, there you go, Gav. So Chicken Robbers an Arsenal fan. So who would be priority to bring in?
It's Gaffer, mate. It's not a clientele thing. I've said this. It's not a clientele thing. It's the clientele are fine. There are players at Arsenal that can play and can do the right thing and move Arsenal forwards. They're being told some random stuff, and if they're being told the right stuff, their manager, so their players do not believe in their manager. It's so obvious. It's so clear to see. So it's changed.
Mad to think that Thomas Partey left Atletico Madrid at the top of the league for this.
I know. But it's been sold. It's also
it's been very quiet on the front of a certain someone that loves the ideology of the Arteta regime. It's been really quiet recently. I only ever seem to see a tweet or a post when they do something well. I mean, I think the last time I saw something positive was when they beat United, which was the cup final of the season by the looks of it. Yeah, I can't argue with you on that at all. Ed, what are your thoughts on Southampton and on Sheffield United?
You know I love Southampton. I say it week in, week out. I love them. I think they've got a great setup. They are very much just an 11-man team, though. They've not got too much squad depth. I think this is probably their peak of what they're going to do into Hasenhüttl, because you imagine in other seasons, other teams will recover. We'll start to see some normality again. Deserve all the credit they're getting. Sheffield United, I did say I felt that just similar to Brighton, they feel like they put 110% effort in. They've still not got the result. It's because Sheffield United lost it in the last minute against Leicester. Was it the last minute? It was the last few minutes.
Yeah. Literally, just ticking over to 90.
And I just feel like that's just kicked something in them, where they didn't even look like they had an ounce of that fight today. Because even when they play well, they don't get a point. So the moment Southampton went 1-0 up, it was over.
Right then, guys, it's time for this.
What's our Everton?
Are you right there, mate?
I don't know.
What's our Everton?
Smooth.
I must have pressed that about 74 times.
That's
just
why
didn't fancy it.
Restarting. That's right.
Yeah, it didn't come up at all on the screen. Anyway, what's our Everton? This is classic Everton, isn't it? Just get tonked all the time and then beat Chelsea. Everton 1, Chelsea 0. What are Everton, Stephen Kine?
I don't know, man. Like this result proper threw me for a loop. Like I didn't see this coming a mile off. It's a stonewall penalty before anyone even wants to talk to me about that. Mendy, you could even see in his face once he comes out and just clatters Calvert-Lewin, and he just instantly thinks, you can see his face. He's like,
he knows.
The penalty from Sigurdsson is just filth, man. Like those are the ones that when they go right, they look great. But if the keeper just stays on his arm and doesn't move, you look like an absolute fool. Max, whatever your name is from Leeds, we're coming to you later. But I don't think Chelsea did really too much wrong in this game. They still looked quite threatening, but I still want to, even though they've won. How bad is Jordan Pickford, man? How many times in this game he came for crosses and clattered with his own defender, or just dropped the ball again, or doesn't catch the cross? Chelsea should have scored where he came flying out, doesn't get the ball, and he's off his line, and they somehow conspire not to score. But it's just like, mate, I think most of the time he's always trying to do something spectacular to cover up for how he doesn't
how
do
poor he is. Gareth Southgate will see this as a clean sheet for Everton. So,
Yep.
I mean, Ed.
Alon's all winning performance, if you ask.
Exactly. Ed, what are Everton?
The most inconsistent club I've ever met. I don't know what their aspirations are, whether it's to win the league, get top 4, Europa League, get relegated. I never know. You think they might be turning a new leaf at the start of the season under Ancelotti, and then Everton creep back into the system. And I thought, here we go. Ancelotti's going to go. We know how this dance ends. And then they beat Chelsea 1-0. Fair play to you.
They did the same thing this time last year, just as Arteta and Ancelotti were still which club are they going to go to, and it was. I'm sure it's the same weekend when Duncan Ferguson was still in charge, and they had a dirty run, didn't they? It was like they had Leicester, Arsenal, Chelsea, and another big club as well. I think it might have even been United, and yeah, it was United. because didn't they beat United or get a point against United? They beat Chelsea. They drew against Arsenal. Yeah, this time last season.
They beat Man United 3-1, didn't they?
Yeah, and then they got a draw against another big club, and they got a win against something. And it's like, hold on a minute, this is Everton. But that was just after they left. They didn't allow Marco Silva to look after those clubs there.
Yeah, Everton are now back in the top 4 race. They're only 3 points off Southampton in 4th. Chelsea, yeah, you may have lost, but Frank Lampard can't be too disheartened. If they're only 3 points off top still, they may be in 5th position, but there's only 3 points in that. So,
well, apparently, Chelsea haven't beaten a team that are above 13th place in the league this season. So we should probably have a look into that. But let's talk about the most exciting game of the weekend. This one. Cotton, shall I leave you with that for a moment?
Yeah, well, I was at work, so I watched the full 90 minutes, the highlights, and it was pretty. I mean, it was drab, but I would say, trying to be non-biased, I thought the main attacking moments in the game was us. If anyone looked likely, apart from there was a chance when Jesus was through and surprise, managed to mess it up. But listen, man, this was two teams. Shut up, sorry. This was two teams that kind of didn't want to lose this game. I don't think anyone came out like they wanted to push for the win. It was what it was. It was. I think if you'd have asked me before the game, like current situations, if I'd have taken a point, I'd have taken a point. So I'm not too upset. Just wasn't very great for the neutral. I think what was a 1 card apiece as well. So there wasn't really anything spectacular going on. And I was
excited for this game.
Yeah, like the way we played as well is like our desperation for a proper striker is nuts, man. Like I know it sounds stupid because Cavani's 32 and we're relying on him so heavily to be that striker for us now that there were so many times we could have put a ball into the box and there was not one person in the box, or a ball did come into the box and not one person was gambling to get onto the end of it. It just spoke volumes that we are desperate for a striker. One thing I would say though, because obviously no one ever gives him the credit when he does something good, just when he does something bad. Maguire had a good game.
Maguire had a great game.
Really good game. Made that vital clearance off pretty much on the line at the end. And also De Gea made a pretty good save from, was it Mahrez, who probably should have scored.
Yeah, it's nice to hear you say something positive about De Gea, because I know you're not
I wouldn't have started him.
a big fan of him anymore. I know you were, and every Man United fan was I personally think that it is his time to sort of take a step back.
Yeah, exactly. It's not that I'm not a huge fan of him anymore. It's just he's had his time. Like, he was incredible for however long. Let's not forget, right? Everyone has these like memories of him, but mate, Peter Schmeichel's last season for United was atrocious.
The 99 season?
Mate, honestly, please, because I've watched that season with you 10,000 times.
And I think Man United are the most lucky team that season.
He was letting in clangers left, right, and centre. He was falling into the net with the ball. He was literally just one error short of being a whole Nick Hancock's Footballing Nightmares DVD.
Right.
Like, he was bad that year. So like De Gea, like, he's had his time. He's been great. Cool. We've got a young, hungry, decent keeper. And everyone keeps saying, oh, but do you think he's ready? He played 36 games in the Prem last season. Now, what do you mean? What more does he need to do?
He looked damn ready. Look at the difference that Sheffield United made last season when they had someone like Dean Henderson. So, no, I think you're 100% right.
What's the feeling in the Man United camp, Colin?
What's the feeling?
General emphasis around the fans, because it's been a tough week for you.
It's all the United camp, like the fan base and stuff, is always just so split, right? There's 50% that's like, look, it is what it is at the minute. Ollie didn't get the players he wanted. We wanted a striker and a centre back, and we've ended up getting Van der Beek, class player. Don't need that many midfielders.
Don't need him. Yeah.
So we know that he hasn't been backed. But then you get people going, well, he spent 100 million on Maguire, and it's like, it doesn't count. Like, well, it does count, but you know what I mean. It's not, that has no bearing on the situation. 50% want him out because they're like, we're Manchester United, we should be doing better. Based on what anymore? I don't know, because you can't just live off being a good club 10 years ago. It doesn't work like that anymore. It is just really, really split at the minute. And like, especially with the Pogba thing, because Ollie can't win, right? If it was up to me, Pogba now gets the Ozil treatment. Okay, you don't want to be here that badly. You want to be that disrespectful.
Yeah,
in the reserves you go. And I don't even care if you don't go in January. You stay in the reserves. But then you've got on the flip side of it, which is kind of like what my unpopular opinion was, that he's still technically and football ability-wise the best player at the club. You've got people going, well, why isn't he starting him? Like, people were saying that that's what cost us the game in Leipzig. Like, why didn't he start him? I wouldn't have even brought him on. I'd have rather gone out of that game 3-0 than brought Pogba on. Like, I wouldn't even want to give him the satisfaction. So it is just all so up in the air. Like, you have got people on one hand going, well, we're out of the Champions League. Mate, when we saw that group come out, PSG, Leipzig, I was thinking, well, we're not getting through it anyway.
Well, we're coming third, yeah.
But then at the same thing, we've got a game in hand, and we're like 3 points off. We're like, if we win that game in hand, we're like 2 points off top.
Oh no!
But all you ever hear.
But then, if City won that game at the weekend, it would have been like, oh well, City back in the title race.
Yeah, and Ollie's out.
Yeah. Silly stuff, innit?
It's mad, man.
One player, one gaffer who's doing really well is Steve Bruce. We Newcastle fans love giving Steve Bruce chip, but he's doing bloody all right. Goals came from Almiron, and I'll put Furlow. I've got Furlow on the brain.
I said the same thing earlier.
It's not Furlow, it's Furlong. Let's change that.
Before this game, right, I was watching whatever the earlier kickoff was before this. I was watching it on BT, so it went on to BT Score, and Robbie Savage was talking to Chris Sutton, and they were talking about Newcastle. And Robbie Savage says, "Don't you dare say anything about that Newcastle are having a half decent season, because you'll get blogs written about you and nasty tweets sent to you." Because Robbie Savage said they're doing well, and the Newcastle fans were like, "No, we should be winning this." And then they scored, and he was like, Robbie Savage was like, "Well, I probably shouldn't say anything because."
Yeah, so I'll probably end up getting nasty stuff. Ed, what were your thoughts on Newcastle? Were they looking all right to you?
I don't know if I necessarily enjoy watching them play football. but I have been a small admirer of Steve Bruce since he turned up after Rafa. I think he's done really well with what he's got. I think they continue to do well under the radar. But no, the football isn't great. I don't think it is great.
Why do Newcastle fans hate him so much, though, Ed? What do you think that why?
Because they were hoping
so much...
to go down another adventure. Rafa Benitez, he come in, and I think Rafa did all right. To compare Steve Bruce and Rafa is difficult because they've had different squads, different scenarios. They've both done great jobs. But with Rafa, everything was looking like it was going in a direction. You had Rafa who come in, who's a top class manager, done it everywhere. stayed with them from the Championship, built a connection, and then they were going to sell the club, buy a load of players, win the Championship.
Mbappe was coming in, weren't it? Yeah.
They lose Rafa due to the owners they hate with a passion, and then they get Steve Bruce in, and then the takeover falls to bits. But who can they blame that on? Who can they kick off at? Steve Bruce is the only one they can get a kick.
Yeah, exactly.
So
scapegoat.
He's a scapegoat. But yeah, Newcastle don't play great football, but they work for each other, and Steve Bruce wants the wins. So occasionally
they don't play great football. Right? Here's the perspective, though. Newcastle are currently 2 points behind Manchester City, and Newcastle have actually lost less. No, they've won. Where am I going with this? Oh, Newcastle have lost only 2 more games than Newcastle, and they've won the same amount of games this season as Man City. Like, we've said this before. Realistically, what do Newcastle fans want? Where do you expect to be? It's mind blowing. But going back to this game, someone I'll give a lot of stick to that needs a little shout out. Joelinton
actually had a good game. That's one good game in like 70.
Mate, his pass for this goal is just outside of the foot, so perfectly weighted, thread through the eye of a needle, takes out about 4 players. It is just chef's kiss. What a pass! And then
it's nice. I love Dwight Gale's goal. The cross is literally bang on the money, and the header is to match. Now,
but why is the header even better? Why is the goal even better than it could have been? Because it came off the crossbar. Automatically 10 times better.
Yeah, you're right. West Brom, they'll feel sorry for themselves a little bit here. Do you feel that they need to lick their wounds much after this game?
They should feel sorry for themselves after having to wear that kit for 90 minutes. But
it is garish, isn't it?
It's disgusting.
I thought you were going to say something else then, Gav. I'm not going to lie to you.
No.
It is horrible. It is so,
I think West Brom should be criticised a bit more, to be fair, because I think they've had a ton of opportunities and lifelines thrown their way by either the team they're playing on the pitch at the time or the results around them. And even when they could go for the jugular and take the 3 points, they never do, and they end up losing the game a lot of the time. Eventually, their luck will run out in terms of what's happening around them. And I think Bilic might be the first person to go behind the radar because Fulham's getting results. I don't think Sheffield United's going to sack Wilder. Bilic could look like the next candidate.
Well, Bilic looked like he was going to be losing his job, didn't he? They were saying he's going to be out the door if he doesn't get a result against Spurs. They lost against Spurs, but they had a good performance. In other words, Spurs were terrible, and they matched them for 90 minutes. It was like Harry Kane, like a minute before time. So he kept his job after that. I don't understand the premise and the idea behind managers, or behind clubs where their manager has just been promoted from the Championship. You're not Nottingham Forest. You can't just get promoted and then the following season win the title. Then the following season win a European trophy. Your first job is to survive when you first get promoted, as far as I'm concerned. But if you don't survive, there needs to be contingency plan. I love what they've done at Norwich at the moment, and they've kept Valker, and I think they've done the right thing by doing that. Norwich look all right at the moment. They had a plan. It's like, if we do go down, we go down, but we're financially sound, so therefore we know that we can keep our players, and any player that does want to leave, screw them. We've got a vision where we want to be in 3 years' time. And if you're happy to stick by me to do that, then we'll do it. And I think that's where Norwich got the right idea. I think that's where West Brom should be thinking as well.
I think Bilic gets an easier time because everyone thinks he's a bit of a cheeky chappy, bit of a personality. Do you know what I mean? Everyone thinks he's a bit of a yeah, exactly.
I don't think he should lose his job at West Ham.
You're right, because we like him as neutrals.
Exactly. Like,
shooting.
He doesn't get the same. I've just put my headphones.
I think he should have stayed at West Ham. We'll go to West Ham next. We have got another game that we need to talk about before, as well. But Leeds United won. West Ham United.
This is my worst prediction ever. honestly. So I was giving it bigger, like West Ham, have fun in the Championship. See you later. I was adamant. I was so convinced. I would have bet my house on it. I really would. Honestly.
Oh yeah, I was in that camp as well.
Penalty was awarded after 2 minutes to Leeds, and Mateusz Klich, he scored it finally. Bit of drama around this penalty. I think the giving of the penalty, fine. Bamford felled, but it was ordered to be retaken because there was this half-inch shuffle by Lucas Fabianski. Do you think the ruling should be changed on the goalkeeper movement from penalties?
Nope. Whole point of a penalty is it's supposed to be basically a free shot at goal for the team getting one because you've been stopped in a goal scoring opportunity or whatever. Shouldn't be the case. It's always been the case that they should stay on their line. Now it's just being enforced. Like, how many times have we seen in massive games or finals or the Euros or whatever, and the keeper's literally on the penalty spot? If you can get out quick enough, you could be on the penalty spot before. I know that they will call those ones that obvious, but you know what I mean. There's been times when they've been 3, 4, 5 foot off the line, and what's the point in that? Like, no, they should be retaken.
Ed?
No, I agree. Completely agree with you. Rules are rules, mate. I don't know why we've still got people complaining about this.
Why don't goalkeepers try and be a little bit more clever then and be like, why don't we start behind the line and leap forward?
Start behind the line and then run at it. Yeah, like. But to be fair, the only reason I'm annoyed at this one is Klich should not have been given a second chance at how bad his first penalty was. I'm surprised the Leeds let him take the second one. It was absolutely atrocious.
His retake was pretty tidy though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was retake. It was nice.
Souček loves scoring headed goals, and he got another one. And it was so lucky that I saw him at 9-4, which is brilliant. And then Ogbonna at the end.
Do you know what? Meslier, for Souček's goal, it was cleared behind the line from Rafinha, but it had already gone in.
Yeah.
Meslier made some really, really, really cracking saves in that game.
Yeah.
This one, Chris Packett wrist, man. It literally just Swiss cheese hands went straight through his hand. It just wasn't good.
Do you think he's got a future though? I honestly think he's going to be a world-class goalkeeper.
Well, yeah. After looking at him now, I thought he was 5'9", didn't I? And he's 6'6".
He's 6'4". He puts a bit of weight on. He's only 20 years old. 20. Goalkeepers don't hit their prime for another 6, 7, 8 years at least. You know, I think Meslier has got all the minerals to be a world-class goalkeeper, and I'm really looking forward to seeing his growth. And I think he's at the right club. I really do.
Aaron Cresswell has scored. Sorry, he assisted his 4th goal of the season. I was saying I'm a big fan of Cresswell.
Yeah, his 200th appearance as well, which is pretty tidy.
Was the Cresswell assist for the Ogbonna goal?
Ogbonna.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a crispy header.
Lovely
that was a really nice.
Lovely header. Ogbonna always seems to score important goals. Doesn't he?
He's been around forever, man. Like, he played in Italy. Like he was at Juve for a bit. He's been everywhere, man. Everywhere.
He loves it.
He loves it.
I'm still a bit weirded out by West Ham. I still feel like there might be, it's last season they started off the season really well and they fluffed their lines in September. This time it's a little bit different because it's December. I think they were really unlucky against United last week.
Well, that's why they did well to bounce back, because they were in good form prior to that, and they just got straight back to it.
Yeah, it was not an easy game. It really isn't an easy game to do it in. Our last game, though, it was the Mike Dean show. Let's put it that way. There's no other way around it. Wolves 0, Aston Villa 1. El Ghazi with a 94th minute penalty after there was red cards for Douglas Luiz and João Moutinho. Now, considering the game was 1-0 and the goal came right at the end, I was excited by the game all the way through.
I only watched the second half of this one. I was quite disappointed by this game, actually. I thought Grealish was poor. The fact Aston Villa won, considering they went down to 10 men, was what was it? Was it Semedo?
Yeah, for the penalty. Yeah, it was just tired, weren't it? But do you know what? I was so I even texted you during this game. Like, I was so annoyed, man. It was everything you expect it to be. It was the Mike Dean show. There was yellow cards for just simple fouls that didn't need to be bookings. He just wouldn't let the game flow at all. Everything was me. It was embarrassing to watch. I mean, even towards the end of the game, like I know we've always said, a yellow is a yellow no matter what time on the clock or where on the pitch. But I was sending people off for second yellows for like silly little niggly fouls in the 94th minute. Like, why? What was the point? And in that game was his 3,000th yellow card. And I think he knew he just wanted to mark the event with just like, what was it in the end? 9 yellows and 2 reds. Like, I can't stand him, man. I honestly can't. He might be our best referee, but just how he always makes everything about him is just too much, man. It was like pantomime.
I felt like it was two teams that both wanted it, and neither team was scared, and both teams wanted to do something and create something. I really enjoyed watching this game.
Neto is sick. I don't care, man. Like, I'll see that geezer run past 2 or 3 players at once. Honestly, I feel that they're struggling to score goals, obviously, without Jimenez, but Neto's trying his damn hardest to set someone up.
Podence is a guy, and I could see him going places. He's only young still. What's Podence? 21.
Something like that, yeah.
I could see some big moves going in there. Before we go, I just want to say about Jack Grealish. He had a bit of a. There's been a bit. Couple of snaps going around this week.
But that's the thing, Ed. That's exactly it. Because we like him and we think it's a bit of banter. It is literally like, whoa, look at Jack Grealish sucking on some titty. Go on, you lad. And then like we've said before, like Mason Greenwood goes out and it's like, well, he should know better. He's an idiot. He's a fool. And it's like, make up your mind. They're either all idiots or it's not. Like,
now the Grealish one though. Has he got a missus in that already?
I don't know. That's the thing.
So it's never been reported that he's got a missus.
Lady of the night.
I think she was a lady of the night. Yes.
Do you reckon? Who took the picture?
Paul Pogba probably. I know Souness is somewhere like.
I'll see that, mate.
Yeah. Jack Grealish. I'm asking myself, what's Paul Pogba doing? But the thing, this is like the third time. I think it's the third time this season, or at least since like the restart after lockdown. This is like the third time Villa and Grealish have had to come out and say sorry for their behaviour. Like, there was him driving drunk, him being drunk in the street again, him breaking lockdown rules for a party. Now he's in a hotel room. Yeah. Like, it's like, why? How is this just, again, I don't want to go down the rabbit hole, but is there a certain reason why this guy is allowed to do it 3 times and not be hounded and harassed, whereas one person does it and it's... Do you know what I mean? I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but...
Well, I think it's just a prime example of proving, and Jack Grealish going out there to say that black lives really do matter. Anyway, thank you very much for watching the watch along as well as the Premier League review show. We're going to be back on the air tomorrow, looking at some Champions League stuff and reviewing game day 6 in the Champions League, as well as looking at the last 16 draw. Other shows that are happening this week, we're on the air twice next week and doing the Bundesliga show, as well as I believe Friday we'll be looking at the Premier League games that have happened during the week, because we have a full fixture of Premier League games. But you can follow us on all social media at Top Football, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. And did you know if you put Top into Google, our name comes up first? Yes, it does. Southgate out. So for myself, Gav Mack, Ed Hall, and Stephen Cotton, thank you and good night.
And Southgate out.
I was just waiting for you to say something silly before I press the button.
I'm glad that's become a thing.
Southgate out.
Southgate.
And Arteta out. Goodbye, Arteta.